Good evening. Good evening, ladies and germs. I'm just going to adjust my volume. There we go. I guess you guys should grab something to snack on. Hopefully, you guys have some RRG snacks. I just got a notification. The girl I fancy said yes to our date next weekend. So we are starting off this stream very positive. Good evening, guys. Today we're going to do kind of a review and discussion of the movie Nope. It was a note for me. Well, there you guys have it. Thank you for joining, everybody. Have a good night. And no, but seriously, the movie was underwhelming. I'm going to go ahead and play my intro and then we can get straight into it. And I'm going to share a link if somebody would like to come up. It is an open panel today. Let me put that in. I did leave that on the screen intentionally during my intro, so people who didn't want to watch the entire review could just see it. Basically, it was a nope, guys. It was underwhelming to say the least, and I don't know what it is about it. Hey, Erica, Vitamin, Jenny Bean, and Lantonet, and of course Cantor on, who came in with the. I really appreciate Cantor because they came in and summarized my entire review in just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. So again, if you guys are not interested in watching like a probably 15-minute review, just look at what's on the screen. It was a nope. Do I need to explain what happened in the movie, or did everyone watching already watch the movie and don't need any discussion? Okay, let me just explain it briefly. So the movie begins with a chimp on a set. They're doing like a show or whatever, and the chimp is a part of the show. And during one of the shootings, it's a birthday scene. It's the chimp's birthday. The girl's, I don't know whose birthday it is. I think it's the monkey's birthday. So they get the monkey some gifts, and it's just playing out like, oh, excuse me, I'm all the way in the middle of the movie. No, in the beginning, we didn't even see any of that yet. The monkey was just beating on the people in the studio. Hey, BWMMB, Tiff. I'm going to add Cantor to the script. That is Cantor, right?
Yes.
I didn't watch it yet. See, what y'all not gonna do is have me. I blame Themis. Themis had us like, I don't know. But Themis did say he's going to be reimbursing everyone. Don't worry. He's going to reimburse everybody their full ticket price, regardless of how much it costs, as well as concessions. So just hit him up with the receipt in the Discord, and he will provide refund for those. He definitely swore on his life that he would do it. You can take my word. No need to verify that. So Cantor, again, so people are saying they didn't watch it in the comments, and now I'm just feeling like a type of way because I went to watch it and I regret it because I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. What is it, Cantor? Like, what is it about it that is so underwhelming? What is it? It's the ending was underwhelming, but what else?
Like everything?
Mm. Maybe I just had high expectations because Jordan Peele has made some excellent work in the past. I'm sure we've all watched Get Out and Us, but okay, so y'all saw it. You read the what? See what my professor would tell me if I were trying to write an essay on a body of work, and instead of reading or watching the entire body of work, I went to the wiki. Device not connected. There's someone in the back and their devices are not connected. Oh, I think that's Themis. Themis is about to provide explanation, I'm sure, after he connects his. All right, he's gone. After he connects his microphone and camera, he's going to provide us an explanation for why he told us to go watch this movie and spend our. I know somebody was saying, why are we spending black women dollars on a I thought it was produced by Jordan Peele, but somebody was like, "This is a white man's movie. Why are we not keeping black dollars in the black community?" The YouTube reviews were very thorough. Let me go through some of these. Again, before I was interrupted by Themis joining with no camera and no microphone, ghetto. But the fact that y'all are talking about, I read the wiki synopsis. My professor would not let y'all get away with that. I promise y'all would have flunked. I told y'all not to go. Hey, Tori. I didn't know Tori was in here. I couldn't watch it. They didn't have any showing. Excuses. Excuses. All I see is excuses. Hey, Yogo. Hey, Themis. You are welcome to join and explain yourself. You are very welcome to join and explain yourself. I'm sure everybody would like an explanation for why. All right. Now that someone posted a ride, blah 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 blah. Okay, so here's what. Hey Tiff and hey Themis. Welcome Themis. Themis said we've really been waiting for you. I'm sure everybody has wants to hear what you have to say. Welcome Themis.
So the thing about it is,
Hmm.
you have to have your third eye open to fully
And like you once saying this was booty. Anyway.
to fully understand and appreciate the masterpiece that was Nope.
Hey LB, welcome Themis and Thoth to the channel. For anyone who is watching who is not a fruitcake, I would recommend this young man. Please go watch some of his content.
I am your elder. How dare you?
He recommended a very great movie to us that
I
we
don't
will be.
remember that. Didn't do it. Did not do anything like that. So what
I,
are
cut,
y'all doing?
I cut it out, so there's no proof that you recommended it actually.
Wait, what did y'all watch? What's the movie? What movie are we discussing?
Well, Themis, since you're new here, we watched the movie Nope by Jordan Peele. It just came out this Friday, and it was a very groundbreaking movie, a very moving and touching movie. And we have Cantor on and Tiff here, who
Hey, Tiff, Cantor.
they also gave very great reviews. So I'm eager to hear their perspective as well.
Okay, I must be in the minority. Let me shut the door because Themis, you know how we do in this household. We got you on all the televisions. Petty issue now. Shut the door, Themis.
Hey.
All right. So I enjoyed the movie. Now let me say, upon watching it, I had to pull out some notes. I was confusion. I was confusion. But once I understood what he was attempting to do, I find that it's just as layered as some of his other movies. I think the issue is it's a bit too layered without letting us know. So what I have gotten from it is there are a lot of different images and a lot of different things. The first thing is all the chapters that we see. The initial opening, you have to read the Bible verse because the Bible verse starts to talk about what you're actually going to see. That I will blaze upon you fire and I will do da 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 da. Everything that Bible verse said is what we saw in the movie. When we first saw the dad, we saw that there was some type of disconnect and that which they were struggling some type of way financially, right? Well, we just think it's odd that, he gets killed and they say a quarter killed him. And it's like, oh, that's odd. Okay. Then you have the daughter come in. You can see the disconnect there. Then they flash to the son going to get the animals. We see him at the movie place where it doesn't work out. He gets fired. Then the next scene, we see Gordy in the chimp scene. And then we have the third chapter with all of the action. Well, in each one of those layers, it's kind of building of people being discarded. The relationship with us and animals, how we treat animals and discard them. That chimp went wild because they didn't honor the fact that he was a wild animal. They in turn wanted to what? Get a picture of an alien. They still were not honoring a living thing. It only got pissed off when it ate a fake horse. So I was like, oh, okay. Then when you look at the monster, the one thing that kept you from dying was looking up. What are we always told that if an animal is wild, don't make direct what? Eye contact. But also, how does a cloud, the same cloud, sit in the same place for 6 months and you didn't notice it? Because we're so busy not paying attention that we miss the predators that are around us. It was there the whole time. So it's very nuanced. It took 5 different reviews, 3 different articles. I just wish he would have given us what he was trying to do. But what I appreciate is it deserves a revisit. And in a TikTok world, to make content that people will actually discuss, not discard and have to digest, I think he passed the assignment.
All right. So there is a sense of like taking wild animals and using them for pageantry. Like we saw that with the chimp, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously not you talked about not respecting nature in this way, not just nature in the form of animals, but like even not acknowledging like the clouds in the sky to the
Exactly.
extent that you didn't even see that it moved.
Right.
Okay, to get to that level, I'm going to need to be entertained. So, like, sorry,
Fair.
go ahead.
I had 2 questions for Tiff. Actually, very early, you said a quarter fell out of the sky and hit him in the head. Erica said it was a nickel. I have
Yeah.
been seeing a debate. Is there significance to whether or not it is a nickel or quarter? Like, is there a deeper meaning behind it, or is it
I don't
literally
think
just
to me, the irony was that if we look at the relationship between the son, well, between the daughter and the dad, there's clearly some type of disconnect. And someone even brought up that initially I thought it might have been pandering because it's very clear that she was same gender loving. And someone said maybe that might have caused the rift because she wasn't on the farm. Well, they have this flash, where he looks at the sister and they do the eye thing, and he's like looking back. He had the alien's name was Jean Jacket. Jean Jacket was the horse that she received on her birthday that the dad took from her to go to film The Scorpion King. He discarded her relationship with his daughter for a movie that the horses didn't even make it to. He broke that foundation. Not only did he break the foundation, he gave a broken legacy because they were in debt. But the one thing he was chasing, money, is what killed him.
Hmm. The I like the name Nope for like a lot of reasons, but it is a very African American way of responding to danger. I think I don't know if that
Oh,
is a
yes.
stereotype. I
No,
apologize.
I loved it. How when
Yeah.
he got the thing was over him, he opened up the door and
You're
then
like, nope, nope, nope.
like, nope, 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 nope. When he hit the alien, because I appreciate the fact that he was not like our Caucasian brothers and sisters. Like, what's that? What's happening? Let me go check
Right.
that out.
Yeah, and so I like that. I appreciate that. But so I'm doing good things. I like that, the name. I also like the cinematography. I
Beautiful.
think it was beautifully shot. Um, I would venture to say, out of all three, that might have been my favorite visually. Now for the negative. Um, oh, also, I forgot his name, the lead actor.
Daniel.
Daniel?
Yeah, amazing actor. He has what people in Jamaica call lazy eye, not in the American way. No. It's not in the American lazy eye. Sorry, sad eyes. He has really sad eyes.
They're very expressive. They're very
Yeah.
expressive.
And so if seeing is beautiful, at least where I come from, right? And so people like that, he's a really great actor. Like just like I think he's an amazing actor.
I actually
He's sufficient.
I like him as an actor.
I'm gonna let you guys go, and I wanted to bring up a series of images, and I wanted to know you guys' thoughts after I brought those up, but I'm gonna let you finish what you were while I get
When
those pulled up.
when it comes to the acting, though, generally in the film, I was very much disappointed. I'm not going to single out anyone. I'm just going to say
Just say
I
you
was
didn't
very
like Kiki. Just say you didn't like Kiki.
I was also thinking about Kiki.
no. The thing about well, let me say the thing about Kiki Palmer for me is I said this earlier. It's I feel like she has the Beyonce problem where it's like I know it's you. Like like your
Mm-hmm.
voice, everything about your tonality, everything is just you. And so like I didn't feel like she was acting so much as she was being overly exaggerated in her lesbianness.
I,
I know she's not lesbian in real life or whatever, but like
I think she was given STEM because she wasn't a lipstick and she definitely was not a stud. So I think it was like soft. I don't know. It was weird to me. And initially, like I felt like, why are they? What is this about? But it definitely gives nuance in why there was a disconnect with the dad.
yeah.
um,
It explained more to me. Like, okay, well, you have a kid, you have a farm, you raised them, and it says something about how he was so invested in the son but not really invested in his daughter. And I think that that might be just the issue that we sometimes see in community.
I think you guys went way deeper than I would have with Kiki's character. I was not looking at her lesbianism at all. I don't even think I knew she was lesbian in this movie. My issue, wait, she
Patty,
was talking about
Patty,
a
no,
girl.
Patty, get off the camera. We're done.
She was talking about
Why
a
you
girl
have
during the
to
movie,
do
but
that?
outside of that, I did
No,
not see
no,
any
she's so
indication.
you missed the point. So first, she when she came and she said, "Can I stay the night? I got a little thing lined up, but you know, if I have to leave," and he's like, "No, you're good." So she insinuated a girlfriend. Then she started talking, and she said, "Yeah, I sleep with a therapist from time to time." And then when they were in Fry's, she saw the white woman and she said, "Oh, she's cute. She looks like she has a big, nice house." It was implied.
That
That's so subtle though. Like I didn't was it
no, no,
to me that was subtle.
no. All right, go ahead.
I saw her look at the white lady. I thought she was making fun of her in the store. I didn't know she was
Mm-mm.
hitting on her. I did hear her talk about her girlfriend. I did. No, that's it. That's all I heard. My issue with her character is I didn't have an issue with the Kiki Palmer problem you said about Beyonce, where this is Kiki Palmer. I had an issue with her character and the kind of upbeat black girl pander to white people, or upbeat black character pander to white people. That was mainly the beginning, but I don't
Wait,
think that's.
But
Mhm.
when she did that presentation, I was very much annoyed.
but
Yeah, pretty
it
much.
was to show
Like,
the
hey, white people,
but
let me
okay,
book and
hold
jive for you.
okay, but let me say this. Do we not see the nuance that she came in? The son had zero social skills, was unable to speak a basic safety spiel. She comes, we got skin in the game. She was the mouthpiece. She was groomed to be able to associate and play in a white world. The son only needed to acquire certain skills. That
Yeah,
is what
no, no, no,
we
no,
see.
no. But that's I think that kind of adoption though is generally bad because it's not operating in a white world. It's performing for white people in a white world. Her the and I'm not people do this and I can appreciate it, but like
So
it
think
was
about
like, hey y'all, it just put
but
on
about what you just said. It was meant to stroke a nerve because we can be performative and seen as animals and things too. And in order to acquire certain resources, some of us will perform to get the money.
yeah, and I think if that is the approach you're deciding to take in the movie, then you did it well. But if it was meant to say she was the better of the two because at least she
No,
could speak, I
no,
I would
it
rather you
was
not know how to
the two
speak.
extremes because you have one person that over talks and another person
Yeah,
that can't communicate at all. They
yeah.
were
So
two extremes.
which I do hope that that was the juxtaposition that he wanted to create it intentionally, where it's like none of them are supposed to be seen as this is the right way to approach it.
Well, and when you read some of the articles, what they're saying is that part of what they were trying to show is how people and animals can be dismissed and thrown away. So not only did they dismiss the man, OJ, but they also dismissed the horse and told them to go ahead and bring the effects on. And if you look, the horse had the X's on it for CGI. So a man and his animal can be replaced.
To be fair, though, if he spoke up more that the horse was not ready, they wouldn't have listened. But like he
No,
was too meek. He literally was
but
too
who?
meek.
But it went to me. It went to show how white people can be foolish. Because why would you stand behind a horse? Any you don't have to know about horses to know. Don't stand behind a horse. You might get kicked in the head. And she's like, "I'm ready. Let me suit up." Girl, you are standing behind a horse that he just said, "Don't look at." It's a wild animal.
Well, it wasn't her standing behind it. It was the guy with the mirror in the face, wasn't it? So I wouldn't call her stupid. I may call. Well, she was standing behind it. She's stupid. But the guy, that's who I would put the.
In
That's who I
general,
would be
there's
looking
a
at.
level of being too casual and not honoring a majestic horse.
Um, Also, I want to point out that was a critique of me not liking her character, not like to say her acting was bad. I think the acting in general was questionable in the movie, but yeah, I actually think her character was played well, especially that part as someone who is grew up more introverted and had this really upbeat sister who was literally that was our dynamic. The brother sister in the movie was like, I'm very quiet and reserved, and help me, somebody, please get me out of this situation. And here she come to
Yes.
save me and talk to white people.
Was it not typical that he relied on a black woman? I just the irony in that.
You gonna do that after I said that?
It was just
No, but like when the seeing her appear the way that she did, and thinking, I probably shouldn't articulate this here, but thinking that that is Kiki Palmer bothers me. Like because you said the acting was great, I
Oh,
thought she was being herself. So
and I guess I take her in dosage because I know the gag is, and she can be a lot. Like today, we actually watched both of her hot ones, and she has a lot of energy. I think that the one thing that maybe it's just me, I'd rather see somebody be like super happy and full of energy than broken down and all despair.
oh,
So
I
like I
love
have to
Kiki
take
Palmer.
one of the extreme, like she looks great, she's 32, she's living her life. I pick that. Pikachu, I pick you.
Oh, well, I love her. I just don't think she is a great actress, but I also don't think she needs to be. To the extent we have Zendaya, we can have Kiki. But and all
Ooh,
the white
ooh.
how did y'all feel about the how did y'all feel about the cable guy?
Oh, Angel.
Yeah.
Angel
he
was
said he he said he was going to be in the show regardless of if he was necessary.
well
He
to
forced
me.
his way into the movie.
Well, here's what I took from it was you have OJ the black guy, you have Emerald, a clear black woman, you have Ricky the Asian guy, and Angel Hispanic. In typical horror movies, within the first 20 minutes, they should be out of here. So to have these be the leads, I enjoyed it. And I like that Angel, I think he was a lot of people. Like, have you ever had a really bad breakup and you just like, all is lost? What y'all got going on? Oh, y'all doing something fun? Well, life for me is jacked up. So I'm just going to hang out with y'all.
No, and you would not be welcome.
I feel like he just had a vested interest. It gave me, like, Jaws has kind of like quirky characters. Spielberg always has really interesting people. Like the people in Jaws were kind of nuanced. He was just nuanced, and it was good to see strangers kind of bind. And but like I thought it was weird that he was tapping into their stuff. Like I was like, who changed the password?
I did not feel him at all. That was spy. Like no, absolutely
I
not.
think
It
they
made
really captured worker who does not want to be here, does not like you, don't like his job.
I mean, if
I
you've
like
ever
that
been
part.
to a Fry's, it was accurate.
Yes, he
I
actually does. Yeah.
Like
in my
accurate.
mind, I edited him out of the movie.
I,
Really,
he hooked up
Yeah,
the cable. He was needed.
he
You
was
don't think
needed.
so?
he was needed to the extent they made it very difficult to set up the cameras that were never going to be used, actually, because you can't catch it. But to the extent that he pushed his way into the movies, sure, fine, he was needed, but no, like
I think the point was to have the most discarded people in society. It was a minority led group where you had the black woman, an Asian man, a black man, and a Latin person.
I think to the extent Latin is
I
people
know.
are able to assimilate with what, you know what, let me leave that alone.
No. I live in Texas, so nobody knows better than me that there are some people that identify as Latin. There are some people that identify as Mexican. There are some people that are white Hispanic. There are black Hispanic. I don't think. Let me just say, Black Americans do not have the gravity to be able to identify unless you're passing. So I get it and I get the concern, but I think again it's needed to round out the cast. And I was glad that it was another person of color, which I don't really care for that term, but I was glad that it wasn't white people. Like the white people that we saw was the horse that disappeared, the white guy that got ate up, the animal was white, and the white family that got tore up by the chimp. It was refreshing.
Nia, I think Angel was a technician with probably cashier training if we're basing it off of how fries works in the real world.
Yeah, like he's Geek Squad.
So I think he was. I'm not going to let y'all downplay this. Is he Hispanic? Why is everybody fixated on Hispanic lately over here? What is going on with y'all?
Ain't nobody trying to be fixated on it. I just think he forced his way into the movie in a way that was not.
1 second. So Nicole, and I'm glad she put this in here. His model girlfriend left him for a better man because remember she got the role in a movie and broke up with him. So he was actually discarded too. And I think a lot of what this is about what will you do for fame? What will you do to capture content? And what are you willing to throw away or not pay attention to? Human people are disposable, all for the shot, all for the look.
As an actor, I would have discarded him for that role after he's installed the cameras.
Wow.
There's there's no more use for him when after he installed the cameras. I'm like, period, now bye.
I think though, because I watched this movie under the influence of alcohol, so I missed a couple things. Hearing everybody talk about it in the playback, I think that it's actually it's kind of like, I guess, supposed to be like some sort of irony because he got discarded by his girlfriend so that she could be a movie star essentially. Mm-hmm. And then he in turn put his own life at risk, discarded himself to help them get the shot of this thing. For what? What do you guys think about that?
No, I think that's a very nuanced way of looking at it, I think.
Y'all are just out reviewing me right now, and I don't like that.
Because then, in a sense, we're supposed to feel bad for him because he was discarded, but he discarded himself for the same purpose.
Well, I thought sometimes we throw our own selves away.
I thought we were all gonna come on here after watching the movie. Y'all then looked up review after review videos. Y'all didn't go to articles.
Let me tell you something. I like that.
I wanted to be like, I didn't want to be like complete. I didn't want to be my opinion to be shaped by anything. So I don't even know the Rotten Tomatoes sort of scoring.
I don't know the Rotten Tomato, but I can confirm that Angel Torres is definitely Latin, and his name in real life is Brandon Herrera. Definitely Latinx.
This is the guy we're talking about, by the way. Vitamin, it's a little static in your background.
That's not static. That's air. I get hot. Don't judge me.
I got mine on too, but I put a pop cover over my mic.
Well, I'm using my headphones.
Side note, I don't remember where he's from.
But it is a bit loud, Vitamin.
All right. I'm gonna go on mute and try and figure it out. Hold on.
But I don't know where this guy's from, but I do recognize his face. And I think he's played a lot of similar type characters.
If you watch, I dropped in the Discord an actor's review, and I think apparently he has played in this genre quite a bit. Him and the Asian guy also
Oh yeah, he is
to
very
be from this horror background.
yeah. Because I recognize him. I'm like a big horror buff. I just can't place him in a movie right now, but I do recognize him and I recognize his acting style. But I think that he was used in a similar way that Barbie for is it Ferrera?
Yeah, that was trash.
Yeah.
They did.
She said I was just like, is that all we're doing here?
That I didn't like that at all. It was giving like, did you watch Euphoria this season? How they just all but cut her out. I didn't like
Yeah.
it. Made me, and I think maybe
Whoa,
because
whoa,
She
spoilers!
was a
Whoa,
straight
whoa,
fraud.
whoa! Spoilers! I have not watched Euphoria season 2 yet.
okay.
Oh my bad.
I don't have a spoiler, but I can. It's apparently her and the creator/director had a falling out or something over like her not wanting to be
Nude.
naked as
We didn't
much, or
wanna do
something
it.
happened, so he just kind of like cut her down.
Video.
Wait.
Yeah, she wasn't really into that whole like video porn shit. Like
Oh.
she just got wrapped into
But
it.
I think
they
I know.
said the other one too, the top heavy one, had the same issue.
She did. But we'll do Euphoria another day because I have thoughts about that one because I do not like the way they have that young black lady acting in there. But another day.
None of it.
Is this the woman y'all are talking
Right.
about?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's Barbie.
Yeah, that's Barbie.
But I felt like Barbie.
Wait. The person who we just saw was not a white Hispanic.
Wait, go back to Brandon or Barbie.
Y'all gotta give me
Let's
some
just say Latinx and we'll be
time.
that. Okay, Latinx.
All right.
Because y'all, I done already closed out his whole.
So Themis, what? Let's go with what was bad.
Ooh,
Oh,
Oh
the
my
acting.
gosh, I'm late, but y'all agree,
No.
right? That movie was lit, right? All of y'all, you agree with Themis? No? Oh, you LB? Tiffany?
I'm not gonna say it was
Vitamin
lit.
Key? Y'all don't agree? Y'all think?
I
No.
feel like I'm gonna be on the internet by myself because everyone probably loved the movie, but I didn't like the storyline. I did not like the acting. I did like how everything was set up. I talked about the cinematography before, but like it's just like, okay, did the alien blow up? Like I also, maybe closure is something that I also wanted, like another chapter to tell me how everything wrapped up. Like
Does he ever give that though?
No.
I thought
No. But there is closure though, even in Us, when we didn't know kind of if this was, well, figured it was the evil mom that was
the
still
evil.
around. Yeah, like it ended. This one kind of ended. We know the alien died, so there's nothing. There's no cliffhanger, right?
It was supposed to be a cliffhanger. The ultimate goal was to get the shot. She got the shot at the well. And when she got the shot, she had the pictures. Not only did she have the pictures, when everything came back up, she had the press and the paparazzi out there. So think about the irony that the white man said to her in the beginning when she made the phone call. He said, "You ending up in the sunshine with all the stars around you, it's not going to happen." She said at the
But
very
we don't
end,
know if it happened, because my assumption is that the U.S. government is going to.
She gets to be a star.
No, we don't know that, because I'm pretty sure the Pentagon is going to have something to say about this.
Yeah, I think they would shut that down.
She got
I'm pretty
the
sure the U.S. government is going to shut all of this down.
And one of the
out there, it was a wrap.
One of the reviews was talking about there was already like news crews out there or something anyway, and like that they might have got a shot too.
Well, no, technically they wouldn't have got a shot because they had electric equipment. So the equipment would have went down with the electromagnetic field, but she had the pictures. And when everything came back up, if you look to the right, there were cameras and people coming out. And if you look to the left, you saw OJ on the horse, which he was, you don't know if he was there real, because the sign above it said out yonder. So is he out yonder, or did he really live? That was the one part that I was like, okay, I don't know about that.
Yeah, but
now,
my
think
issue
about OJ. What did we when I heard "Run, OJ, Run," I was like, "Really, Orenthal? We going there?"
I didn't like the acting. I didn't like the storyline. I hated the plot, like all of it. To the extent we got the meaning through about taking care of animals and leave wild things wild and at least appreciate nature. Period. I didn't like the surface level, so I never dug that deep. So I was like, all right, well, I didn't like this.
I did like, aside from the scenery, the fact that they at least gave a little bit of history on the motion picture.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
that's
that's
nice.
not it. That was literally it. The rest of it was just kind of like, it felt like they just threw stuff together to make a movie.
I know
that-
I'm not the only person here who Prince Petty. What's up? What do you think? I have. What's the scoreboard?
I like the
I
movie.
like
I wouldn't I don't like it compared to Jordan Peele's other works as a standalone movie. I don't like it. After watching, after literally, like these guys said, you got to look up review and all this apparently to be able to watch it and watch it again to be able to understand. I think that's too much. Thema said it at the beginning, but like it has to be enjoyable while I'm sitting through to watch it. Like, do y'all remember Get Out and how satisfying the ending was? Y'all remember Us at the end when we find out they switched around and all this crazy stuff? Like, it's very satisfying. It's very thought provoking. And this was, we're training an animal in the sky. Like,
Well, that's not really his style because for Get Out, like the ending we got wasn't the ending he originally intended because people was like, we don't like that, because he was supposed to go to jail for killing all them white people.
Yeah, that would have been a sad, somber ending. I think I still would have enjoyed the movie. This ending, like Get Out, had a happy ending in my opinion. They killed it and they got the picture. And then it's kind of ambiguous what happens. So I would compare this ending to Get Out's ending. Actually, if you're saying it's not his style to have like a happy ending, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying his style is to kind of have like a ending that you might be like, okay, like it's not necessarily a woo, yay, everything's perfect. It might be a little because there is, from what I understand, kind of a question of whether or not the brother is actually alive. Oh, and I didn't actually see the movie. All I saw was like I read the wiki and I watched reviews. I like what I heard, but I didn't see the movie, so I don't know.
All right.
Do you plan on seeing it? Go ahead.
You said what?
I was asking, do you plan on seeing it? Because I don't want to.
At some point. Well, I already read the whole thing. I have to give you backstory. I don't care about spoilers. I want to know, do I even want to invest my time in the first place? So you can talk about things all the time.
The way I knew that was bad in terms of the acting is, at least for one person. You remember when the alien was between Keke Palmer and Danielle, and they were like going in the opposite direction, and she was on the bike and one was on the horse. And it was very emotional for a moment when Daniel was like, "Oh, I'm seeing you, and I'm going to sacrifice myself to save you." As soon as the camera went back to Kiki, I started laughing. So I'm not quite sure.
But did you get the call back from him naming a jean jacket?
Yeah, no.
As a child.
No, yeah, there was the writing for that moment was good in that there was a build up, and when it came, it was going to be great. Like there was an emotional release that was supposed to happen now, and then it just didn't. Like Kiki took me all out of it. Like I'm sorry. Like I just.
Do you think Kiki overacted or she's overacting during the movie?
Yes. Yeah, like Kiki suffers from what I think most child actors suffer from. When you're a child, you act with like you're on a stage, right? Like you're performing. You don't like whine it in front of the camera. And so when I see her, it's just like too much. Like I don't know, it's just too much. Maybe it should have been too much, and I just didn't get it, but it was too much for me.
But I think her too much personality was fitting for her character, like because she's a very kind of
I love that in real life for her. I love it. And part of the movie when she was being funny, it was good. But like in an emotional, like maybe it wasn't supposed to be. And so if it wasn't, then I'm wrong.
I'm sorry. Miss,
Wait,
did you see what Nia just said? Jean jacket is a play on the word gene, like your gene, because it was an animal. No,
I don't.
okay. Look at first. I
I
tried.
mean, it could have been, but what I'm saying is, if that scene was supposed to be emotional slash funny, they killed it. If it was supposed to only be emotional and like heart wrenching, it didn't work for me. So, and maybe that's
Well,
only me
see, I
talking.
don't. And when the way that I took it was not about emotion. It was in the beginning when we were introduced to her. She was very irresponsible. Like she came to the place late. Remember, she was late to come to do her spiel. And then it was insinuated that she wasn't the most responsible person. By
Wait,
the
she
end
still
of the
wasn't. Did you get? I didn't see a character arc for her.
listen, hear me out. Okay, so we have her being late, not being really invested, to coming to the farm, staying and starting. Notice every time he mentioned work, she dipped out.
Yep.
By the end of it, she's choosing to sew the stuff up. She picked where she wanted to go. She made the plan, and at the end, you see the maturity. And why he is allowing her to leave is he knows that she's going to be able to take care of herself. So at
Um,
the end, the person that had to be taken care of is the person that took the animal out. It wasn't art.
Um.
There
Okay,
wasn't.
so I saw a forced character arc. I did see a forced character arc, but is there an echo or something? I can't.
The last thing
Lan B
that
has an echo, but she said she was here to defend Kiki, so I'm assuming she is coming for Themis and Tiff.
Period.
I'm not saying anything
Be-
about Kiki.
be- Before you defend her, I didn't wait.
Oh, I don't know.
Hold on one
Can
second.
you?
Lan,
I
I
think you're
muted you,
still
Lan, because
muted.
there was a lot going on with your
The
microphone.
the character arc for me, I think there's a distinction. When I think about character arc, I'm thinking this person changed from being this to now something else. This person, Kiki Palmer, in the movie, did not change. Her circumstances changed. So it would be weird of me to say the person that ended the show isn't the same person that began the show because you were in a very different situation. And because of that, you were in survival mode. So maybe you become more responsible in that role. Like everyone is going to try to live. So like I thought she was still irresponsible, but
Uh,
then she
Did anyone have a character arc in this
I
story?
disagree with you, Themis, on that.
She definitely
uh,
had an arc. If we take her from being tardy to the party, we take her to not being responsible, not having somewhere to stay. We take her from stealing the horse to then committing to help her brother, to helping set up, to actually following through, to calling the guy, the film guy, because she knew he would get the shot. Because remember, there's nuance between how she behaved in the meeting with Ricky to how she behaved in the initial meeting. Because the guy remembered her because of her performative behavior, but she piqued his interest enough that he heard the call, and then when he saw the news, the dude showed up. So there is some responsibility that's being shown and growth.
I feel like you can ascribe that to being more responsible when like you're literally gonna die. But LB, you were coming for me. Go on.
I sure was, yeah. So about Kiki, no. What I was gonna say is I feel like it's really dismissive to say that she was just in survival mode, so she just adapted to that mode because I feel like um in that situation, yet she didn't have to be in survival mode. Like she could have did what she had been doing and just got in a car and dipped. She could have just dipped. She could have been like, "Hey, bro, I'm not about to chase aliens with you. I'm gonna go lay up with this chick from I don't
Wait,
know, whatever."
didn't even in the beginning, didn't it she seem like she loved her brother?
Almost
Yeah,
certainly.
but my thing is, she you love him, but also it's not a life or death situation for you. It was a life or death situation for her brother because he was fixated on this alien.
But
But
that's what
like
I'm
she had
saying.
to leave.
But to the extent we don't know if she would have gone back to put her life on the line for her brother, like There is nothing
She
to
did.
in my
She
mind.
had,
There's nothing to
well, no,
compare
female.
her.
She had an opportunity. Think about when Jean Jacket had the was hovering over the house and he like pooped the blood and all that stuff out, and then the brother came and saved them. When they got to Angel's house, they didn't have to go back. Like she
Yeah,
technically was away, and
yeah,
even
and he
then,
was gonna go back, and she didn't want to go back, and she went back because he was going back. So the question I'm asking is, she did put her life on the line for her brother. There was nothing in the entire movie, even when she was like being weird, where I thought she didn't love him. Like, if she
oh
can't
yeah.
act, that's the one thing she
I
portrayed, that
don't
she loved her brother.
Well,
like
and
you
the other
have me
thing is,
questioning the
I'm
whole.
sorry, LB. Think about
Sorry.
this: when they were at Angel's house, they both tapped out of reality. They were playing VR games. So the brother was fixated in being in the now, and you still have two people that their lives have literally been on the line, and they're on a VR.
She
Like
was playing. I thought it
they
was
both.
just the man playing.
No,
Okay.
she was in the back in the corner standing up.
I think you guys are framing this as her character arc or whatever little you could call it is she went back to the house as opposed to I guess she's been trying to get out of doing work with her brother all movie.
Correct.
But she also during the movie a common theme that she had is she's putting her brother in this farm to the side for her own personal gain. And part of the reason that she went back was again for her personal gain and catching footage of this thing.
I sorry.
Ugh.
Wait, I hate that you did that. 'Cause that was my trump card if I got caught back into
Dang,
a
you got me.
corner.
Let
That is
me
my
look.
trump card.
I'm gonna
I was
work
like,
on the response. Hold on.
I don't even know what y'all were arguing because I was like, didn't she want to catch it on and get the Oprah shot or something?
No, to be fair, wait,
They
no.
all
To be
did. The
fair,
brother was
Tiff
fixated
and
on.
LB were doing really well, and I was wondering if they were going to run me off the road until I had to revert to the fact that it was actually quite selfish of her to go back because she wanted to be rich on TV. But I wanted to see if I could argue my way out of it before ever using that card.
I don't think, yeah, personally, I like the movie, but I don't think like none of the characters really had a big change, in my opinion. Like they all stayed the same. Gwen, I know his name is not actually Gwen, but I call him Gwen from Walking Dead. That's the same actor, right? I
Yes,
hope. Okay,
Ricky.
That's Glenn.
Mhm.
Ricky, right?
Mhm.
That guy, he didn't change. He didn't change at all. But since his childhood, he wanted to tame an animal, which so happens to be the alien, right?
Okay,
Never changed, and
no,
it met.
let's
o-
talk about Ricky in the
Okay, yeah,
in the beginning. Ricky and Gordy were essentially the same. Gordy was not going to kill Ricky. First of all, the shoe stood up, and we don't have a real good perception of was the shoe standing or was it enough trauma that he just imagined, but he didn't make eye contact. But when Gordy put his hand underneath, he was making a fist bump to connect with Ricky because they both were animals. He on that show was the adoptive son that they were doing performative kind of, you know, how they adopt people. Like he was just as much of an animal as he was. He was for show, he was for play. The issue with Ricky is Ricky knew what it was like to be put in a performative space. He saw the alien and he essentially for 6 months fed it. But when he started to try to capitalize on it, then the animal came for him too.
Wait, question before y'all move forward. I thought the shoe standing up was just a kind of play or callback to didn't one of them say is there a word for a bad miracle or something like that? I thought that was like just a very minor part in the
That's
movie.
what the reviews were saying that it was, and that's what saved Ricky's life
Yeah,
because he was so focused on that he wasn't looking at the animal because the animal was
Ooh.
like ripping faces off
oh,
because in the animal kingdom, eye contact equals aggression.
exactly.
Mhm.
Nia is childish.
I think he
Um,
didn't change because he was just focused on his own trauma from when he was a child, the entire movie.
Well, I think that the lesson is supposed to be if you've already experienced trauma with an animal, then why would you try? If you saw a chimp go crazy, why are you messing with an alien dog?
Because the chimp went crazy, and he, not knowing that the reason the chimp didn't kill him is because he's looking at the shoe, if we're going based off of the shoe theory, thinks that he just has a connection with this animal or an ability to tame nature, which he also thought he had with the
I can
big
agree with
alien creature. But I think someone said something like the chimp wore clothes and a hat because that's what we wanted him to look like. It took off its disguise at the end and showed us its true self, just like the alien looked like a UFO because that's what we were thinking of it as. And then, of course, it takes off its disguise at the end. So he
It still
has
looked
this.
like a UFO.
I mean, it looked like a
It looked
Lovecraftian tentacle air
Well, I
balloon.
don't know. I saw something. I don't know what it was, but it was like this historical thing, and it was saying that the Native Americans couldn't see the ships coming to America, like because they couldn't conceptualize them until like a medicine man told the Native Americans like, "Hey, there's some things coming," and then everybody could see them coming because they couldn't conceptualize in their mind a ship. But once someone they trusted was like, hey, there's these things coming, then everybody could see it. So I was thinking it might have been something like that.
Well, and the other thing I think is we get very caught up in the sea. I think it's kind of weird that we don't ever really look up to the sky with mysticism or curiosity. It's like, oh, it's a cloud, or oh, it's clear. Like, how did a cloud not move for 6 months and no one picked up on that? That is highly strange. But then I have
Really, I feel like I wouldn't know that. I
you
definitely
would
would not have
you would
noticed.
think,
I
but
would not.
that conditioned? Are we that conditioned with our environment?
Yeah, we are. We everything we talk about on the internet, everybody's talking about, raising your frequency and getting on another level and expanding your mind and paradigms and all of that stuff. Nobody's going to be looking for something like that in the sky. You just saw a cloud. You're not going to think that cloud was still there. You trying to get money. You trying to eat. You trying to keep your ranch. It's just a regular day.
Well, and the other thing is, I really feel like let's look at the very beginning and put Prince Petty. Can you pull up the Bible verse? Is Nahum 3:6, because it literally says the whole plot of the movie.
I'm gonna have to give him about 25 seconds.
While
Gotcha.
he's pulling that up, I was gonna try to have a comeback for Kiki not being selfish, and I have one, but I decided that I'm gonna concede because I was like, maybe the whole point of like maybe none of the characters did have like traditional what are they called, development
Arcs.
arcs?
Mhm.
Yeah. But maybe none of them had traditional development arcs because it was intentionally made that way. Like maybe it was made to show how we're stagnant in society.
Yeah,
Mm.
what LB said, and if you think about it, like, because I was reading an article saying the movie is basically about tokenism, as when we have to play a character for the white gaze black women. Kiki's character, she was overly happy, always, and then you said every time you switch back to her, even in the scene, she's making you laugh. As black women, sometimes we're not even allowed to show our pain. If we do, we're branded angry black women. And with the brother's character, he was docile, quiet, and meek. If he comes out of that, then he's an aggressive, dangerous black man, right? So they have to stay in these characters. That's why also why they don't have character arcs, because when we step out of our arcs, we are then demonized by society as a whole. Even that's probably why none of the, because like you said, it's a minority leading cast. So any of these minorities stepping out of the and having character arcs to grow is not really possible in our real society when we try to express ourselves and show that we're full humans. We're rejected and demonized for it.
This I actually agree with you on everything you said, but for this part where it is, I think there was an attempt to make Kiki character have an arc. I think there was an intentional um, attempt to give her an arc. I just didn't see it.
What if
I see
it
what they were trying to do, but I didn't see it.
okay? So modification of whatever just proposed. So maybe it's not intentional no arcs. Maybe it's intentional weak arcs. Like it could be that there was intentionally weak arcs so that we would have this debate. Because I'm convinced that all actors are psychopaths, or not all actors. All well, them too, but no, actors are more like sociopaths. I would say that all screenwriters, like good screenwriters, have some mental issues, and I think that he enjoys making like it's almost like puppeteering us. Like I feel like the art could be intentionally just so we can have this conversation about
Or
whether or not there is an arc.
or you can think about it this way, giving us options. Like in real life, we have options to show our true selves, but we choose not to, so that we're not demonized by it. So you're giving her the option to grow, but she chooses not to, so to stay comfortable,
Yeah,
to be acceptable.
I mean, she
and
did rise to the occasion, though. It's just like I wouldn't have called that an arc.
Well,
yeah.
Prince, do you mind reading the verse?
Oh, did he get it?
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Oh, wow, sorry.
That Bible verse, and I'll put this on the screen too if you guys want to see it. Nahum 3:6, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vow, and will set thee as a spectacle.
That's what he did. The movie was a spectacle. At the end of it, I think that Nope was supposed to make you feel the way that we felt. You were either gonna say, Nope, this was a bad movie, it sucked, or you know what, Nope, I
No,
know
but
and it's like I know you, there's a message, and I'm gonna dig, or Nope, I'm not gonna see it. But I have no doubt that this will be studied in film schools.
I mean, to call a movie a spectacle is kind of redundant of this to use that as a verse.
Well, here's what I will say. How many black movies do you get that are spectacles outside of a Black Panther?
I mean, for
This is
me,
this is a big budget. It's horror, and he's being allowed to enter with top caliber actresses and actors. Um, Essentially, what I don't, and I hate to make this comparison. I don't want him to fall in Tyler Perryism, to where he may need to have someone. You don't need to write, direct, produce. Maybe you have some assistance, maybe you have somebody flush it out, because I think had it been a little bit more flushed out, or if the Bible verse had stayed on a little longer, because the runtime was 2 hours and that Bible verse was up a blink. And
someone said they might be a heathen because they don't remember this Bible verse. Because I went through the Bible and I didn't remember this Bible verse
Like
either.
I went to
because
Bible
it's
school.
I never heard that book in my life. I was just like, excuse me?
But that's the other purpose of this Bible verse. It's unknown, and it sits in between two very small books of the Bible. And if you read it, it's about 15, maybe about 15 verses. And the whole plot is talking about a city being destroyed, and the city being destroyed. Do you mind pulling that up on Biblegate? Because if you pull it up, you'll see where it's talking about society and why it was being destroyed. Again, I think that he understands that his audience is, you're going to have people like me that are going to go through and read and try to pull it apart. And you're going to have other people that are just going to not, it's a nope, like nope.
No, but that's not. I feel like that's unfair to do because you to do that is to relegate the audience to being uncaring heathens, or at least half of the audience, which I would fall into because I didn't care after watching. Like when I watched Us, the first go around, I didn't get it. But I like the movie itself, like on the surface level, without any deeper meaning. Well, they have to be. I like the movie. Get Out. I like the movie on its own, right?
Mm-hmm.
This, I don't like the movie, but the deeper meaning, I'm like, okay, cool. I can vibe with that. But still, a spectacle, you can say it's a good spectacle or a bad spectacle, but movies are supposed to be spectacles in and of themselves, right?
So look at what Erica's saying. I understood the message after reading that verse. Prince Petty, will you pull it up, Bible Gateway? And I think it's the verse that he uses. It looks like it's probably the New American Standard. It's definitely not King James.
I do have that up, but wouldn't the fact that we have to seek outside media to fully understand and enjoy the movie?
No, because the underlying message is the way that we consume content. We dispose everything in a world
And
of
that was
TikTok. In a world of
Wait,
TikTok.
wait, wait. So, Tiff, let
Mhm.
me get this straight because we don't have to go argue on this then, because I think that's fine. If you're saying this movie, for you to understand it, you have to go outside of the movie. That makes sense. A lot of things we have to go do outside. If you're saying to enjoy the movie, we have to go outside of it. If that's also what you're saying, then that's fine. But I'm not about to do that. Like I need to enjoy the movie and also go outside to get understanding. I did not enjoy the
But
movie.
So
It
I
was
really don't think it
very
was
entertained and well.
that convoluted though. Like
I
I really, unlike the movie Us, this wasn't as convoluted as Us, and people actually like Us. Like the one thing that I would say that didn't make any sense to me was why did that white guy self-sacrifice himself for the monster? Like I
it
don't think
was
I
I
get it.
just I just call it a kink and let it go.
no, it's not a kink.
that was like
Remember,
a
he
that was
said
like a Moby Dick moment of like,
it,
oh,
it's
I'm dying for the chasing of the glory.
Yeah,
he literally said nobody gets to get the perfect shot. His entire life he's been into filmography. He has his film. He gets the perfect shot. What are you willing to do for content? Are you willing to die for the sake of the shot?
The Man
Before
in
he
Black
said
was.
that, he
I think
said what was the statement that he said before that? He
He
said
said, Angel, everything's okay. Nobody deserves to get the perfect shot because he understood what he had captured. And he's like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I am
unless
going
they're
to
more
die
alien.
doing what I love. He was infatuated with predator movies. He is seeing what he loves. He now, a white man who is typically a predator, gets to become the prey.
so like giant kink. Like
White
Yeah.
Jesus.
I
I
mean,
did not
I
see that
said kink,
coming.
left it alone. I don't.
But
I
that's
Well,
the
don't know how to.
I also wanted to point out that like when you were saying about Us and you were talking about Get Out, those two movies were highlighting problems that are kind of like well known, even if they are debated a lot between people who feel one way or the other about it. But those are like I said, problems and things that we can kind of conceptualize more because we've been classism, racism. Those are clear cut issues. But when we're talking about this from the context of like, consumption of quote unquote content and the way that we dehumanize ourselves to the point where like we're passing around videos of SA and murders and things like that. Like, oh, did you see this? Oh yeah, and we're just talking about it, but not really absorbing the horror of it and the
correct.
absurdity of it and this and that and the other. So it is going to be one of those things where if we're in that frame of mind as a society, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, yeah, I don't get it. Because they're not in that place to be able to say, you know what, that is effed up.
Well, the other
So
thing is,
wait. Can I ask a question first?
yeah,
So isn't the movie supposed to be like good on its own? Like, and I don't
it
mean on
was
its.
enjoyable. It
All
was.
right.
Let
The
me ask
fact
you
that you
this.
said wait, the fact that you said enjoyable instead of good makes me feel like you were hesitant to call it good,
I'm not. I'm not. Let me
which
explain.
I am. To be fair, Tiff, you don't have to die on this hill. I was hesitant to call it good. Like my whole time I've been That's how I feel. The
I
only reason
can't.
I feel it's good is
I.
after
I.
discussion and
I
I'm mad
have
how
to
Prince Petty
say.
came back so quickly.
I
go
have
ahead.
to
Where did you
say.
go?
I have to say, and this is what I put in the chat. I am still at the point to now that I have some context, I will see Run OJ Run. I will go see it again. So what Vitamin is talking about is what he was given was a commentary on how we consumed the OJ trial and how we weren't really we kind of divorced that this man killed two people. And then if you want to go into modern terms, we just did Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and we consume that like it was a soap opera.
Yeah, it wasn't about what actually happened to real people in real life. It's about the spectacle of, oh, we're experiencing this drama.
On the entertainment part, let's rank this movie. Let's do 1 to 10. Where do you come out on this movie? I'm gonna give it a solid average at best. I'm gonna do 4.
Not an average up.
I'll give it. I'm gonna give it a 7 and potentially a 10. But because I don't see very many movies that I would invest this much time in. The fact that one, he had us excited enough to go see it. 2, schedule. 3, we all went to view it together to experience it outside of MCU. Outside of MCU. What
Wait,
other
no,
film?
Tiff. How are you giving credit for things outside of the movie on the movie itself?
Because when you go see the Avengers or Doctor Strange, it just is what it is. Please don't talk about Thor. I haven't seen it. We know you didn't like it.
I agree.
And because you didn't like it, I haven't. Please don't. We know how you feel. But the only other MCU movie that I have like argued my whole heart with is Doctor Strange, and that's because I don't feel like Wanda was a villain. I feel like she was a hero, and Thanos was right. But go ahead, Alfred. What are you judging this? Don't do it, Themis. I see your look. Don't do it.
What's the scale from 1 to 10? From
Yeah.
1 to 10, I give it an 8.5.
Wow.
And I say that because if it was if it was a little longer, I think it would have been bad. If it was a little longer, if it was
I would
like
die. I
See,
would have died.
Here's
but
the
it
issue. Y'all keep saying I give it a 10 because the trailer was so good it made me go. That is exactly what you said, Tiff. The trailer had me so excited to go see it.
That
Like
is not what I said. That's
a
not
free, you're talking about if it had more, it would be so
well,
good.
no,
Don't
hold
judge
on.
it
But
based on if it had
Yeah,
more.
they better be stretching. They better be
I have
stretching
more to
give
say.
No,
I
go
have more to
ahead,
say. I do think that the characters did have depth. I didn't get, what the white man, that white, I forget his name, what his purpose was when he self-sacrificed himself. Now that, I'm sorry, what's your name? She broke it down just now.
Tiff.
Female.
No. Well, when she broke it down, okay, I
You
get
talking
it.
about me?
Yeah, yeah. Because you broke it down. We said that, yeah, because this man, he was miserable. He was trying to, he wasn't fulfilled, pretty much. That's what it seems like. So finally, when he found a way to take that perfect shot, he did at his demise, at his detriment, ultimately. But he got it. I think that is character arc for him. Well, is it? No, not
Yeah,
really.
it did.
The,
He
No,
fulfilled
the
the
it.
struggle
characters
for
had
y'all to
depth.
create.
The characters had depth. They didn't have an arc in my mind, so I wouldn't disagree with you.
And then just the fact that I might be a little biased, and I admit that it's rare to see a black movie. I know that we're not calling it a black movie, technically, but it's rare to see a black movie where we're just not playing caricatures of what people
Yes.
perceive. That's why I'm just so excited about it.
Yeah, we
I
get to
hate,
use our brains.
yeah,
I
yeah,
refrain from making that comment because I do think we get to critique even in these cases because honestly, the cinematographer was beautiful and I was very excited that it looked expensive, so I
It,
loved it.
and it wasn't struggle love. Like, I'm so sick of struggle love. It wasn't based around a romance. It wasn't based around I'm trying to survive. It just wasn't. But when we get through, Petty, do you mind going through, like,
The Bible verse.
it's a quick read, I promise. I promise.
Okay, I'm gonna let everybody give their 1 through 10, and then we can go to the Bible verse. So if you haven't gone, you are welcome to, with a short explanation.
LB.
Going once, going
Is she
twice.
frozen? Is she frozen?
It looks
Oh,
like
I think LB is frozen.
I think Cantor on is next.
Cantor.
Wait, did Vitamin
I,
go?
I don't think Vitamin went.
She didn't
Oh,
see
who?
it.
I didn't see it. Like I said, I like what
That-
I heard,
But
what I
she's
read.
dropping the knowledge though.
Listen,
But she
but
whole
I
time she
am
didn't see the
quite
movie.
up on the lore. Okay, so you cannot discount me from the conversation.
So-
I am a learned scholar.
No. Vitamin is that one person in university who shows up to class, didn't do any of the reading, and somehow pulled out a B or B plus.
You damn right. That's me.
You're gonna sit up there and not read and feel like I feel like you were just engaging in the conversation. Sorry, go ahead.
You can go ahead, Vitamin, then we'll go to LB.
Okay, overall, like I said, based on the lore, I like it. It's at least like I said, I think a good 8.5, and I'm withholding a 10 because I didn't see the film. It may go down when I actually see the film because Themis is correct. It does matter if you're doing a movie that is to be visually, and story-wise stimulating. You do have to have that aspect on point. But as far as like everything that was discussed in the reviews and in the articles and stuff, I love it.
Okay, LB.
Sorry, I was turning off my drill. Nels, but
I don't know what that means.
huh?
I don't know
Same.
what
I
that
was like,
means.
what's she doing over there? What you doing,
A
girl?
drill.
Oh, I was trying to
Oh,
turn
live?
it so it wasn't like, yeah, so it wasn't like.
Okay.
I don't want you guys to think like weird things were happening. So, anyways,
Did you see the movie?
I saw the movie.
Okay.
I was under influences, so I definitely need to see the movie again.
Me too,
However,
girl.
so like I missed a couple parts, but for the rating, okay. Before I give the rating, quick, slow, quick, but sorry. Okay, so pretty much like I went into the movie with the expectation that it was going to be like good. I was like, Get Out was great, and I love that movie. And then we had Us, and I was like, honestly disappointed when I first saw Us, and then I watched it a couple more times and loved it. And then when we got to this movie, I was like, okay, he has to do better than Us, like because you can't do Get Out and then never come back. But then I thought about how like they say like you only, like an artist only makes a masterpiece maybe once in a lifetime, and I was like maybe Get Out was just a masterpiece. But I'm convinced that Jordan Peele is his name, right? That he's actually some sort of genius.
Same. Facts.
I think he's actually some sort of genius, and I think he has an agenda with his like the way he's laying out his movies. And so for entertainment value, I would give the movie a 5 for general for general I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but like attractiveness to the audience. And then for artistic value, I would give it like a solid 8, leaning 9, because I think that it did exactly what it was intended to do. And I think it's kind of cool to see how much reach a movie can have for us to like be going out and doing research and to be doing self-reflection. And I think the reason that so many of us had a hard time like getting the point of it is because of our egos. This movie calls for you to be reflective and to look into yourself, to look at society, and to be honest about it. Because if you're not going to be honest about yourself and society, then you're not going to really see the message behind this. When I went in to view it, I wasn't going in to do work on myself. So like I wasn't relating it to me. I wasn't picking up on the societal cues. And then listening to you guys review it, I'm like, oh, that makes like perfect sense. And now I want to like do some research and go back and watch it again. Because
Did
I
you
think
like the cast? Like, did you like the cast, the lineup?
cast, yes, because I think that I'm leaning more towards like he intentionally gave them weak character arcs. But I like how they all interact with each other and how they're used to like highlight things like qualities or like I guess like morals that we're supposed to get from each character's story. So like it like how the brother OJ, his story goes into Kiki's story. I don't even know Kiki's name in the movie because she's just Kiki.
Emerald.
Emerald.
That's also
Okay.
I've
part
been
of the
calling her
problem.
Kiki in the movie the whole time.
Wait, the whole time she was Kiki.
I
She's a
think Venus
precious
has a point.
jewel. She's a precious jewel. She's emerald, but she was discarded in the beginning, so he didn't know her value.
Yeah. I think it was a good movie, and so like since I'm giving it an entertainment value of 5 and a artistic value of like, I'm gonna bump that to a 9 so we could average out at like, what is that, like 7-ish.
See, that's not, you don't work backwards from what you want the
I would
average
like
to
to give it a 9
be.
as well. I will give it a 9 as well.
Wait, Themis, what is your
Plus, give it a
criticism?
9.
Not you changing your score because you don't like the average.
What are you talking
We're on a
Oh,
We tested on this.
He
Fresh
said it's not
I-
based on merit. It's just because you want a nice round number.
No, honestly, I don't like the number 6, so I picked 7, and then I had to like backtrack to fix it. And you're absolutely right, but you didn't have to call me out like that, friends.
It's a 9 for me.
Fine, it could be a 6. I just really don't like it either.
Did
So 6, 9, 9. And then the other person.
Cancer.
y'all understand that 10 would be the highest?
Yes.
Okay, I'm checking. You got
Yeah, I
Cantor.
can
You can...
understand that too.
So 1 through 10, I give it a hard 3.
You just brought everybody's
give it a hard
average
3. I'm
down.
sorry. It was just not it.
All the way down. You brought it all.
Mercy, are you on here?
I understood what they were trying to do with the whole spectacle thing, but it was just like, and the only reason why I even gave it a 3 is because, like Themis said, the cinematography was great. It really was. And the characters, I was okay with them for the most part, because I mean, I've seen worse. But it was just not it. I felt like whatever he was trying to do, he could have done in a better way. It was just not it. A 3, a solid hard 3.
Cantor,
But
we
wait,
all
okay.
record. All of them could have died and I wouldn't have cared.
Basically.
Demis, you're so mean. Even
But,
Kiki gotta stay alive.
Can I ask you, Themis, what were you expecting?
Wait a minute. Let's get Lonnie first.
Oh, yeah.
I just like her and
You
other
just proved the
things
point of
more.
this movie. You said that all the characters could die. You couldn't give anything. That's his comment on how we consume content. Like, we watch people's lives every day, and if they die tomorrow, most of us, especially these Instagrams and TikTokers,
You'd be like, that was unsatisfying.
Are
go on to the next person.
Are you telling me that's what he meant to do?
Yeah,
If that's what he meant to do, he did it well. If that's what he meant to do, then period. Because like I was like, all of them just kill, alien, eat everything, and I was like, fine. So if that's what he meant to do, then yeah, he did great.
Do you guys mind if I add one more
And
thing?
I went in wanting to like the movie.
Oh.
I really wanted to like the movie. I
think saying a 3 though would be like, okay, this movie pissed me off. Like I think that's
piss me off is probably a 1 for me. It's like, all right, why did you even? Because I even enjoy watching bad movies sometimes. I do enjoy watching bad movies that like are objectively, they're just bad. Sometimes I actually like watching them, but this was just, I almost fell asleep, honestly.
Yeah, it was too long.
So I think is it Lan?
Oh, Lambie. Yeah. Can I say something after her?
Yeah.
Okay. LB, is what you had to say related to what Cantor just said?
Yeah, one thing related to what Cantor said, and then the other thing was just about the movie in general.
Okay, Lan, you can go first, then we can go to LB.
I can't give a rating because, like Vitamin, I didn't get a chance to see the movie.
Wait, oh my gosh.
The tokenism and how what you guys were describing the movie and describing the characters, I can really pick up on it, and I will go see the movie when it comes out on my streaming service for free. And
period.
I'm waiting.
From there, save myself $7, but it's interesting. I think it's interesting to be able to have dialogue about the deeper meaning of a movie. So I'm gonna watch it at some point.
Yeah, it's crazy that I got so much insight from all of you, and 2 of you haven't even seen the movie.
That felt like shade to me.
I think I'll
It
enjoy
wasn't.
it more now because if I would have went without like priming myself with this, I might have came out like, what the heck was that? So now I know I'm going to enjoy it because I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, I see it. Mm-hmm.
That's not fair. I need you to feel like I felt when I finished the movie at the theater after I paid money for it. LB, you can go ahead and then I'll wrap up with mine.
Look, so luckily my uncle paid for it, so I didn't leave salty, but I probably would have if I paid my own money. Um, but what I was gonna say is when like, do you guys watch Kenny JD because she does bad movies in a beat and it's amazing?
Yeah, I
And,
watch her.
yeah. I just wanted to make that recommendation. Then back to the movie. So back to me thinking that Jordan Peele is a genius. So I think that he set us up to be disappointed. Like, so his movies, if you pay attention, all his movies have been like latched into each other. Like there's background things that connect them to the next movie. Mm-hmm. And I haven't been able to figure out what connects this movie to Get Out and to Us, other than like general like social commentary. And so I'm thinking maybe what it is that he's progressively making movies that are less satisfying for us because he was building up to this movie. Because when you get to so when you get to this movie, right, you're expecting like Get Out status. You're like, okay, he's gonna have a comeback. It's gonna be like Get Out, and then you're like, okay, well, it can at least be like Us. And then finally, you get here, and you're just like, is this it? Because I literally text through most of the movie, and I was like, oh wait, what's happening? But I think that it's intentionally set up that way because it feeds into the theme of the third movie. The third movie is about us like not it's about us not getting or not seeing ourselves and not seeing society, and then like being able to sacrifice things. Sorry, I was reading comments, my bad. But not being able to like sacrifice or being called to sacrifice things for things that aren't really worth that sacrifice. And so I feel like I fully got lost, you guys. I'm not even.
Wait, so you're saying that he intentionally made a bad movie, but you're going to give it a higher score?
I think he intentionally made a bad movie. I'm giving it a higher rating because I think that it did what it was intended to do. Because we were expecting to go there and get entertained and have like this deep thing. Like pretty much he was like, y'all are going to have to work for this one. Mm-hmm. Like that's essentially what he said. He said, y'all are going to have to work for this one. I'm going to put this out here. It has a meaning, but I'm not going to spoon feed you. Because like, I feel like with Get Out, he spoon fed us all the subliminals. Like if you missed that, you weren't looking. And then if with us, it took a little bit more work. Like you saw a little bit of it, but you had to go back and watch it like 3 times to see every layer. Now with this one, like he's like, I'm not even gonna give you layers while you watch this. I want you to do straight homework.
So like because
to his level where we could see things without him spoon feeding us, I think.
Well, I have a question.
The movie was laced with
I have a question about that though.
Okay.
I wanted to ask LB, do you think it's possible that it might not necessarily be because it wasn't their problem, like clearly a racism thing, and you can go, oh yeah, they racist. That's a them problem. And then when it came to us, it was like, oh, classism, you know, whatever, blah, 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 blah. That's a them problem. Mm-hmm. But with us, it's just, I mean, with this movie, it's just like, it's a everybody, like we're all doing it. You know what I mean? There's not a clear finger to point and say, oh yeah, that's the bad guy.
Wait, side note, considering he has a white wife, I think that's very possible. Like, and I wasn't even mad. Like, a lot of people are mad because he has a white wife. I was just like, okay, whatever. Like,
he has a white
yeah. And a biracial baby baking.
He's biracial.
It makes sense for him to build up.
That's why he didn't kill that white lady at the end of Get Out. He was looking at her like, I can't kill this white woman. She reminds me of my wife. Y'all didn't get that?
I think he did kill her. Didn't he kill her at the very end?
No, the character, he couldn't go through killing her at the end. And then
look at all the white characters in his movies. All the white people.
Y'all better get y'all biracial king.
Stop. No, but what I was thinking is like what Vitamin Q said makes a lot of sense in that sense because it if that's the case, then with the 3 movies as a series, like he's making a comment like, okay,
he said we the problem,
but we have a youism problem. Like, fix you, and then we can talk about all this other shit. Like, because I feel like that's what it like broke down to.
I know he is not blackistan hold black women accountable. I know that. I will change my rating.
Wait,
you said what?
No. Wait, how do you think he views black women? Do you think he view how Kiki is represented is how he views black women?
I think he respects us, and that's why he's highlighting all the like stereotypical tropes in his movies of us, and why he's also breaking those stereotypes in his movies.
When did he break it for Kiki?
Wait.
Well, okay, Kiki don't count because the whole last movie doesn't count, like because it was intentionally meant to be bad. He wasn't there to break stereotypes. He was there to make us think and do homework. He said, "Y'all gotta go do some homework now." I don't know what the next movie is, but I promise you, it's gonna be more work than the last one.
I think so.
I don't know about his breaking stereotypes of black women, because even in Us, in the end, the mom was evil, was the evil mom. So I'm like,
yeah.
Now I'm overthinking. This is just I just thought about this 10 seconds ago, so I'm like gonna have to think about that. Is he really?
No facts, Liam.
I think he's attempting to break the stereotypes.
Well, wait, who was the evil mom? So didn't the little girl switch with her when they was a little girl?
No,
and then she
okay. The bad one is the one that survived. The good one is the one that was stuck underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you mind doing the Bible verse? Because I think if you do the verse, let me just say this: if he does the verse, and we get some context, I am hoping that perhaps we can get like the 3 to like a 3.5 and the 4 to like a 4.5.
Okay.
All right, read the verse because it might go down.
I'm gonna give my rating, then we're gonna go straight to the verse. I want to give a pre-Bible verse rating because apparently reading the Bible will just completely change your perception of this movie. So I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. I really, really like the visuals, especially in the first half of the movie. The shots of the ship passing overhead in the dark, like extremely unsettling, especially since I was the only person in the theater besides some white lady. And then when they're in the barn and you see the owl head pop out, and it's just extremely eerie. Like he creates a really good setting with the scary parts, but then on the latter half of the movie, it stops becoming horror, and now it's like spirited away. This is an animal. We need to get a giant lasso and train it like I don't know, like it just didn't wrap up well for me. The first half I feel was the strong half, and then if anything, I feel like the last half of the movie should be strong. If you're going to have one half that's weak, and unfortunately, the latter was weak here.
So for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I just interrupted you.
Oh, I'm done. I'm looking for this verse.
For everyone who like wanted a takeaway, Tiff will agree on this, and Afri will agree. The takeaway here is: don't try to tame wild animals. Kill them.
No. Leave wild animals alone.
Not the takeaway.
Takeaway
should not have been there.
The takeaway is we are the animals,
and we're
I heard kill them.
Like they kill us.
I think I might be delusional thinking that Jordan Peele is a genius and that he's just playing with all of us and wants us to do
You changed your mind like 3 different times.
His name is not Jordan Peterson, it's Megan.
I don't know if he's a genius. He's a person. He's a person with a lot of money to be able to do all of this, or access to a lot of money to be able to do all this.
He could just be the next M. Night Shyamalan, where we thought he was going to be a great director, and then he turned into.
I was like, let's not talk about him.
M. Night, his problem is that he just keeps doing the same story over with the same ending over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. All right, give us to us, Petty.
I will didn't I thought we read this already.
No, go all the way down.
You ain't read the whole thing.
Oh, I have to read the whole Bible for this movie.
You didn't. You got to read from the skirts part.
First
Now
of all,
y'all
what book
know
is it?
Study and reading don't get along. I don't know
Okay.
why y'all
Thank
are doing
you.
this
Somebody
to
had to
this
say
man.
Okay,
it.
scroll up and I'll read it.
Go to the
I
very,
will
go
pelt
to
you with
one.
pills.
No, stop. Go to one and go all the way through. It's only
I,
it just go follow with me.
Oh. Okay. I thought you were saying chapter 1. You were saying verse 1. I was
Yeah.
like, hold up.
No, verse 1.
I was like, I'm not reading from chapter 1. Okay.
when
Ooh, is this
everyone
a
is ready.
poem? What?
This is a.
It's
I
the
don't know what part of the Bible it is, but apparently it's. I've never seen this at all ever in the Bible, but it's here. Is LB reading or am I reading?
Wait, quick question. Tiff, do you want to read? Because if nobody wants to read, I'll read.
I'll
But...
read it.
Or
I'll
no.
read it. I'll read it.
Okay, cool. Yay.
Woe
Can you
to
see
the
it?
city of blood, full of lies, full of plunder, never without victims. The crack of whips, the clatter of wheels, galloping horses, and jolting chariots, charging cavalry, flashing swords, and glittering spears, many casualties, piles of dead, bodies without number, people stumbling over the corpses, all because of the wanton lust of a prostitute, alluring the mistress of sorceries who enslaved nations by her prostitution, Jeesh, and peoples by her witchcraft. I am against you, declares the Lord Almighty. I will lift your skirts over your face. I will show the nations your nakedness and the kingdoms your shame. I will pelt you with filth. I will treat you with contempt and make you a spectacle. All who see you will flee from you and say, Nineveh is in ruins. Who will mourn for her? Where can I find anyone to comfort you? Are you better than Thebes, situated on the Nile with water around her? The river was her defense, the waters her wall. Cush and Egypt were her boundless strength. Put and Libya were among her allies, yet she was taken captive and went into exile. Her, you don't have to do. Her infants were dashed to pieces at every street corner. Lots were cast for her nobles, and all her great men were put in chains. You too will become drunk, and you will go into hiding and seek refuge from the enemy. All your fortresses are like fig trees with their first ripe fruit. When they are shaken, the figs fall into the mouth of the eater. Look at your troops, they are all weaklings. The gates of your land are wide open to your enemies. Fires have consumed the bars of your gates. Draw water for the siege. Strengthen your defenses. Work the clay, tread the mortar, repair the brickwork. There, the fire will consume you. The sword will cut you down. They will devour you like a swarm of locusts. Multiply like grasshoppers, multiply like locusts. You've increased the number of your merchants till they are more numerous than the stars in the sky. But like locusts, they strip the land and then fly away. Your guards are like locusts, your officials like swarms of locusts that settle in the walls on a cold day. But when the sun appears, they fly away, and no one knows where. King of Assyria, your shepherds slumber. Your nobles lie down to rest. Your people are scattered on the mountains with no one to gather them. Nothing can heal you. Your wound is fatal. All who hear the news about you clap their hands at your fall. For who has not felt your endless cruelty?
Amen. Amen.
That
Amen.
is the movie. The movie is looking at society and saying, if you look up, like immediately when I read it, I thought, oh, it's America. It's us.
Mhm.
If you read it and then went and saw that, which my issue is, had he just left put a little bit more context, I think we would have understood what he was trying to say. But I think what LB is saying is he is at a point in his art where he is done spoon feeding people. And if you want to understand the nuance of his art, then you will do the work. And most geniuses are never recognized while they are alive. They become geniuses when they die.
Erica in the comments says she gave the theme, the overarching part and stuff like that. She gave that a 10 out of 10. She gave the movie a 6 out of 10. I don't think anyone would disagree with you that there's a lot of cool mind stuff that you can go and do research on and do like look into on the back end. I think the issue is that the movie was just bad. It was, I mean, if we're up here less than 5 out of 10, I'm gonna say it's bad.
I disagree.
So what is the three? I just to narrow it down. the three major things that made the movie bad, or maybe even just two. One, just give me a like at least a minimum of one thing that made the movie bad.
Storyline acting.
Okay, I need one more, Themis. She said
Um,
three. No, I'm just kidding.
character arc.
Go ahead.
Unsatisfying
Non-existent.
ending.
Wow. Well, I think that if anything, at least he's given the audience, it's not something where we all can agree that this was awful. Because there are certain movies where most people can say, like, this is just bad.
I'm not saying it's bad. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I gave it average at best. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's like put
It's not.
some makeup on it and make it a 5 or 6.
Wow.
So initially, I was gonna say that it was bad, right? And then I was gonna say, like, essentially, I felt like I went to the movies to watch a Netflix special. But like, I think that that's not. It's not accurate and it's not fair, because when's the last time that you've gone on like Netflix, Hulu, or whatever streaming site, watched like, an average at best movie, and then said, you know what, I'm gonna go do some homework, I'm gonna do a live stream, like I'm gonna have a group discussion about this movie. There's something about this movie that has us talking. And honestly, I feel like maybe some people are mad because like Jordan was essentially like, y'all gonna come watch this movie. I'm not spoon feeding you no more. You're gonna have to do homework. And if you don't want to do the homework, then maybe it's not for you. Like, I feel like that's essentially what he said. I think he told us that it's not for you if you don't want to do the homework. And it wasn't for me yesterday, but today it's for me because I'm about to go look into this and rewatch it.
Yeah,
But
like I think like you don't have to. Here's the thing: everybody watched the Marvel movies, and especially like the last few ones. Do y'all seriously sit there and think, "Oh, okay, this makes sense"? Every time I see an Avengers movie, I'm just sitting there like, none of this is just. I mean, it makes sense, the storyline, but it's just like so
Oh yeah.
not there. Like it's not actually telling a story. It's telling a story, but it's not really telling a story. It's just giving us
It's,
action.
it's escapism. And
Spectacle.
it's escapism. And I think it goes again to talk about, we are on YouTube. We are on a platform that you can either go to Themis and do a 5-hour stream, or you can go and watch TikTok clips. It just depends on the consumer and what kind of content you're willing to digest. Are you willing to die for the shot, or do you want spoon fed stuff? There are days where I want to watch cats and kittens and kids. There are other
The
days.
3 hours of that, 3 hours of cats and kittens and explosions and nonsense
Oh, no.
characters.
I agree with you on Marvel. Marvel is for teenage boys.
whoa, am I a teenage boy?
I
I'm
love
just
Marvel.
saying,
I'm
don't get me wrong. I literally just said the last movie that I fought for was Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange was awesome. I think Wanda is a fantastic, phenomenal character. I think she's nuanced, and I do not think she should be classified as a villain. And that's a hill I'll die on.
I'm gonna throw something in there. I love Wanda. Wanda's amazing, but that movie itself left some things for me to be desired. It wasn't giving.
I love the movie. Well, I guess I'm a teenage boy because I've loved the comics. I loved all the cartoons. So this is just for me something I'm into.
Yeah, I did
I
too.
agree. I agree. I'm glad that we have young people in our family. I love to justify it, and I'll go see a cartoon when it comes out. But I do
Yeah,
believe that some of the content, as far as the emotions that it gives, is
yeah.
it's escapism. You don't go see
um,
MCU to think. It's escapism.
here's
But
the
Wanda's
thing.
character was deep to me because
Very much.
she was shown
Very much.
born in mom, and it was just like layered and
Absolutely.
demonize her for her mourning. It was just really, and I get it because was doing bad things, but it
Was
was
she doing
layered.
bad things? Because America was a mutant.
Wait, what? Wait,
America,
what?
But mutant, but you,
mutant, and
but
she'd already had to kill her husband or her boyfriend. Like, She sacrificed.
Whoa! Are these wait a minute? Hold up.
You
Are
think
y'all spoiling? Are y'all spoiling? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I haven't seen
That
that movie.
movie
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't? But
What do y'all think?
is on Disney Plus at this point.
Bad.
I
She know how to
never-
control her powers. There's a difference.
I get you, but I think that she could have died. Movie
But,
Why?
but real quick, what I was saying was that like because
No.
Vitamin, are you okay?
did something happen?
Oh no, sometimes I'm reacting in the background and my thing like catches, I'll click it and it came in late. So I was like, oh no. So you
That's what
probably
you
just
be
heard
doing on mute.
listen,
Okay.
Nia X said something earlier and I was like so
I thought you
I
wanted
just
the floor.
I just think that I actually like movies with actual dialogue and actually has like even if it's laced with a little too much you know themes and cliches like it may and somebody might argue that it is. This is a good movie, man. And I feel like it deserves its kudos. I feel like all of you should round up. All of you who had the you two Themis. Themis, what was your score again?
4.
Okay, round that up to a 7, if you will.
That's not rounding.
It is for
I
Themis.
agree.
It will be for
I was like,
Themis.
what's around it?
I
That's
have
a big round.
I have a major issue with the way most of you have been describing this movie, which I put the comment on screen earlier. But Panda was talking about escapism, Vitamin, y'all were talking about escapism, as well as suspending your logic. I feel like you guys want this movie to be Us. Us was a movie that I was initially disappointed with because, of course, I watched Get Out and I have these high expectations. But upon reviewing, I actually liked the movie. At no point during watching the movie was I just like rolling my eyes or anything like that. Us was a very good movie to me. And again, I was suspending belief of logic and all this stuff because it was a lot going on in that movie that I felt like was illogical, but it didn't impact my enjoyment of the movie. In this movie, I just can't. I think you guys want it to be Us, and I think we need to just throw in the towel and admit that it is worse than Us.
I'm not gonna go there because I can say when I finished watching it and I was in the chat and I literally was like, well, okay. And when I got in the car, I was like, what was that?
Wait. Tiff, you did not say, well, okay. I remember what you said after watching the movie. You were
What
like,
did I
what
say?
the hell? You were
Did I
like, what
just
the hell is this?
What did I do? I literally
You was talking about, I need to pull up some articles or something because it ain't no
Drag
way I
her.
spent $5
Drag
on.
her.
and
You was not like, no, that was no. But you can
once
go ahead. My bad.
but I did say what? I need to pull up some articles because I knew
Need.
when I finished watching it, I was like, it's not, I can't call it bad, but I don't know what I'm watching. Like, it's
If I
gotta,
think you should go ahead and sue Prince for bringing private information up here. Just
Ooh.
this one. Go ahead.
That was in general. That was in general.
It was in general. I agree. I think, and I'm gonna be where LB is in Afri. Like, I think I understand the assignment, and the movie is talking about content. And I think sometimes we just take things at face value. Oh, that's what happened, and you just take it. And then other times you're like, okay, this is what the media is saying. This is what's the story behind the story. And one of the things that I will use as an example is like the Johnny Depp trial. If you go to popular media, you would believe that Amber Heard was done dirty. Like, everything was stacked against her. I'm talking about popular media. If you go to NBC, if you go to CBS, all of these articles have skewed in her favor. So much so that they are encouraging her to do these retrials. But if you were on LawTube or if you watched any of the trial, the public is like, ma'am, absolutely not. And you can listen to commentary and you can listen to paid professionals. I've seen lawyers get on ES or CNN or literally argue for this woman. I'm like, girl, you didn't watch 5 minutes of this trial. There's no way you watched this trial and came to this conclusion. Absolutely no way. It is about us and content. And do you take things at face value? And are you willing to do the work and the research to find out what is really going on? When was the last time you read the Bible like that?
Well, I didn't know that verse was in the Bible. But also, I'm just going to say that that book, not even verse, that whole book, I didn't. New Testament or old? Because first,
Old.
Absolutely.
that's probably
Old.
why. That's
God was
why.
acting.
That's fine. Also, the second to that is I love that verse, except for the misogyny in there. And I thought I was listening to Revelations because that's one of my favorite books in the Bible. But
You need to read
love
the
that.
Old Testaments more.
Last thing, the monster. Did anybody have any thoughts on that? On it's what it was or what?
Gosh.
What the hell is it? Is it
What?
like
I
some
didn't
kind
hear
of
you.
jellyfish?
I'm not really sure what it was.
I put a picture on screen earlier. I'll put it back on screen now. If you guys have ever heard of I think his name is Carl Sagan. Sorry, I can't make it bigger, but he designed these concepts for aliens and how basically he got together with some scientists and they did some art on how aliens would look if they were living in the harsh climate of Jupiter, how they would exist and survive and stuff like that. And I found these to be extremely similar, in my opinion, to the monster in there. So I thought it was maybe just a little tribute to Carl Sagan, especially because the name of that ranch that the guy that was next to the horse farm is Jupiter's claim. So I definitely thought it was just like a Jupiter alien, or maybe landed on Earth, or possibly just a Earth creature
Wow,
who
that
lived
is
under the
clever.
ocean. Mm.
It looked like a jellyfish to me. Like, I mean, when it at the very end, when it opened up and like the streams, and then even did you not notice that the green thing that was flashing, it was flashing like a camera?
I thought it was its eyes, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was. People have also called
It
it
kind
a
of reminded me
biblically.
of you know how eels have the extra mouth on the inside that they can actually eject outwards to take stuff. Okay, well, eels have like moray eels. They have like an extra set of jaws that they can actually extend out to grab something. So it kind of reminded me of that, but I was just like, I don't really know what this is or is supposed to be. It just kind of
And they
reminded me of a
pointed
weird sea creature.
out that Jupe was calling it a viewer or something like that. So I got from that too that even though he was like the creature was like the antagonist and the thing to be feared, also that double play of like, okay, the viewer is the monster because it consumes and it spits you out, and you know it can hurt you, it can destroy you. And so again, putting up that mirror to us consuming this content, separating the people we're viewing from ourselves and dehumanizing them, and like it's just content, it's not an actual murder, it's not an actual essay, it's
Well,
it's entertainment.
and Vitamin, to pick up on what you're saying, when it took the people, the first thing I thought about was like, wow, is this how the rapture is going to be? Because it just sucked the people up.
Oh, I thought you.
Maybe if you're talking about content, content sucks us up. We're sucked up in viewing.
Well, yeah, because once you become content, it's kind of, I honestly, as I was reading it and I was getting all that as someone who just started making content, and I always will say, like in the Discord and stuff, about my concerns and seeing other people's struggles in building and attracting different people, and how you can kind of become this thing that is not just you anymore, and people start feeling like they own you, and they start feeling like you owe them certain things that you don't, and like how do you keep that balance and maintain your humanity? And there's so many other movies, like classical movies and TV shows, that are kind of about that, when a person is chasing fame for whatever reason or just happens to have it, and then by the end of the movie they're just kind of looking like, what happened to my life? Like now I'm not allowed to just live as a person anymore, I'm kind of like a commodity.
Fair.
Earlier, someone said it looked like a biblically accurate angel. This is what a biblically accurate angel looks like. If you guys, well, this is one of many examples.
no.
If you look at how angels are described in the scripture, and then compare with this image, yes.
Wow.
And there are some more. There are some more. This is just one, but there are more.
Absolutely not. My angel is going to be a human with wings.
You can't
Absolutely
imagine
not.
this guy coming down to you and saying, "Be not afraid."
Absolutely not. No.
I'd be very afraid.
My poor
I mean,
heart.
but even that is what it looked like at the end when it like opened up.
Like an angel.
What do you
I
guys
don't
think
think it
about
looked
this?
like that at all when it opened up.
Spacey
No,
said
towards
it
the
opened
end.
up to she said it opened up to as like a frill lizard where it puffs out and make itself look bigger when it senses danger. No, just me.
Was it scared at the end? It was like, oh
I
no.
thought it's because he got on the horse and he started looking at it like he's gonna fight it now instead of looking away. Now the UFO
It
thing
flared
gets
up
up and
to yeah.
flares up.
I got the impression it was always scared because the whole thing was like it was only eating people that looked at it, and like it was hiding behind the cloud, like it didn't want to be seen.
I thought that was assertion of dominance, like the man said in the movie.
I
It's an
agree.
animal.
But yeah,
Mhm.
even with the monkey, because that's the thing. The monkey initially was scared by the balloon popping, and then now, okay, I'm in this heightened sense of danger, and you guys are looking at me like people do that. You know what I mean? Like if something gets uncomfortable, and then oh, you coming at me, you doing this to me, you know. So like the animal being, I don't know if it's supposed to actually have been, because some people were saying, well, maybe it's been here for millions of years or whatever, or if it actually did come from somewhere else. But it's clearly implied to be like the only one of its kind or something. So I could see it kind of being like, oh shoot, these weird, like we be scared of bugs and mice and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Can you pull up another picture, Patty? I'm curious now. I didn't even pull up the
Yeah,
angel.
here you go. This one. Is this what you want to see?
Yeah, that's wow.
Some more biblically accurate angels, or like some of the Jupiter monsters. Let me see if I can find one of the actual thing from Nope.
That's an angel.
Let me see.
I've been conditioned.
I'm trying to
There's
find.
a content creator called Wendigoon. He seems to be of the Caucasian persuasion, but he does like a very detailed description going through the Bible of all the different kinds of angels and their biblical descriptions and the purpose they serve and like how close they are, the hierarchy. So the ones that are supposed to be closest to God all the way down to the ones that are supposed to serve in
Joe,
like
what is that?
it could be anything. It could be a Nephilim, a seraphim. Like there's all different kinds of angels, and he really does like a very thorough job of explaining all of the biblical angels and what they look like as far as the Bible is concerned.
What was his name of the
Do you mind dropping the link? You and also,
I'll find it. Yeah.
and
Be
then
not
also
afraid.
LB, will you drop the person that you mentioned also that does like the bad movie reviews?
Oh yeah. Prince, you don't mind, right?
JD.
Yeah, you can put it in the private chat or in the public chat.
Okay. I'll put it in both.
Look at what Nicole put in the look at what Nicole just dropped. That's what that thing looked like. The eye and all.
Yeah, I'm saying it does look. It can look like a UFO, a biblically accurate angel, the Jupiter thing. Like I wouldn't say any of those are incorrect.
Wow. Come on, Jordan.
He did his research. Speaking of did his research, let me see. He actually, the design of the UFO, while it's not, yeah, I'm not gonna go looking for this, but the design of it where it's like circular in the back and then it's still circular in the front, but it has kind of a convex shape. Is I think that's one of the first known UFOs from UFO conspiracies and stuff. So I mean, it's a lot of little Easter eggs in there. Kenny, JD. Oh, were you guys wanting to look at Kenny, JD? His biblically accurate angels?
No, yeah.
No, I was just putting it in the chat because he said
Kenny JD is a woman.
She's
Oh, my bad.
yeah, Kenny JD is that movie's gonna be on YouTube.
Yeah, she
I
just
love
reviews a bunch of bad movies, which this would be.
So you
You
saying he
pull
don't
up
my
review this?
imaginary best friend.
is
I'm
it
not even gonna lie.
Ophian Angel? I think that's the image that we're trying to look up. Oh, it looks like Ophian Angel.
I
Opiate.
just looked up biblically accurate angels.
It's OPHANIM.
Not him Googling. I put when
He put a link.
So I just want to let y'all know that right now we're still talking about the movie, right? But now we're looking at biblically accurate depictions of angels. Like, do you see how great this movie was?
No,
Y'all
Look,
not
I
round.
would not be
no,
Can
making
you
I
this
not
up.
don't.
round your number? I
know.
need you.
No,
Whoever put whoever put the movie as a 3, I'm gonna need you to round it up. And theme is I'm gonna need you to round it up.
I'll round it to
And
3.5.
We have to look so deep into the internet, into the Bible, into news articles and research and reviews, just to do something with this movie.
He's
And
but
you're
trying
that's
to
the
get
saying
whole
We
point of
are
a movie.
fellowshipping as we
That is
should
the
on a Sunday.
That is the point. Exactly. That's the point that it's supposed to be thought provoking. Bring back the thought provoking movies. I'm tired of Avengers and just sitting there watching things explode for 3 hours straight. I want this. I enjoyed this movie, obviously, but like, I think that even if you didn't enjoy the movie, that doesn't make it a bad movie.
look, this
Like,
is the seraphim angel, I guess. I don't know what the context was. Someone had me pull this up.
Do the opium one, the OPHI, because when you see it, you'll be like, oh snap.
I'm Team Afri now. The longer we sit here, the more I like it.
you see what I
Oh,
mean?
that's the one I just pulled up, huh?
Like,
Let
y'all make
me.
me want to go back to the theater.
I'm going to see it again. I am. Like I was trying to get a link, but right now it's Struggleville. But if I get it, I'll share it.
It's the fact that y'all had to.
What is
It feels
right
like a stretch
chat?
to me.
I
It
just
just don't
shared
feel
my
like.
link in the private chat.
I see two.
I want to see the angel, the one that Nicole dropped in, Nicole Jones.
I do not see that. I see this.
I'm gonna spell it out for you. O
Please.
OPHANIM angel. OPHANIM. O is in
Um,
P is in Peter, H is in Henry, A is in Alpha, N is in Nicole, I is in insecure, M is in monster.
I feel like y'all are trying to say something about my intellect today.
No,
I'm gonna
No
let
one's
it
saying
slide.
anything.
This one, that's the one I pulled up earlier, isn't it? Though
no,
It's
it's the
close
one.
to it. It's
It's
not quite
close
the
to it, but
same.
it's one that it's like white and it has like circles.
white in circles.
It's in the Discord.
Now y'all know I can't share that information. Hold up.
Top secret.
Let me pull that up.
I just want to
No.
read off the list of angels. It says there's seraphim, cherubim, thrones, dominions, virtues, powers, principalities, archangels, and then common angels.
So,
Yeah,
what angel is this supposed to be?
the Cypherin.
This was Osalafam, the one with the O. I don't know.
OPHANIM angel and then put V2.
Oppenheim?
There you go.
Seraphim.
There you go.
Uh,
Get it. Yes. That is it.
Oppenheim.
Hmm.
Oh.
See? Thank you.
So when it like flared up, those were its angel wings?
The wings, and then think about the center where the square is and the thing that was coming out and it was green and it was taking the pictures or whatever it was doing.
Now I need to know the purpose of this angel because I'm like, what it like it just came in and started killing people.
This is the angel I showed y'all first, by the way. It's just rolled up with all the rings in alignment.
That would be a different image. But go off.
Yeah.
And opens up 6 times in the center. They describing it in the comments. I've been missing it.
I love how we could sit here and come for each other, but it's not.
Oh, wow. How many times did the monster in the movie open its shoots?
Yep.
The little eye. The little eye was weird that kept opening up. It scared me.
Facts.
Actually, it didn't scare after maybe that's it. After it opened up, it looked like a hot air balloon or a floaty or something to me. I didn't like it. But I see the symbolism. It's did he give up the quality of the movie for the symbolism? In my opinion, yes.
I think he did.
Y'all so here's the issue. Y'all have been admitting that he has purposely made this movie bad, but y'all still try to defend it and inflate the number.
I don't think he purposely made it bad. I think he made the best movie he was capable of making. I think the material might have been a bit more lofty than his, according to you guys. His
yeah, because I was about to say nothing vitamin out here defending the movie.
No, I'm saying based off of what you guys are saying, there may have been some stuff lost. Like the idea may have been a bit more than he was actually equipped to execute. But I still feel like it was a really like worthy and interesting, idea.
It was a good idea, very great idea. Poor movie. It was all right. It was all right. Like I'm not saying the movie was bad. It was all right. But me trying to pretend like, oh my god, the message just makes the movie so incredibly good when it does not. Not to me.
This might be like a Ninja Turtles type thing, whereas like if you look at the old 1980s, 1990s Ninja Turtles movie, it's not going to be of the same quality. Like he did for this idea to be so
bland.
No. For the idea to be so what's that ambitious?
Poor.
That he had the best he could do with this type of idea at this point in time. Now somebody might come back and remake it and it'll blow our minds if we're alive. But
I'm sorry. Who is that?
Petty, do you mind pulling up the definition of what this angel is really quick? Because I'm just curious.
How y'all doing all this biblical research for days and days and days, even though we only watched the movie yesterday?
I didn't see this angel until now. Now I'm like, what is this angel?
We were talking about angels months ago in the Discord. To be quite honest.
Take me to your house. I need to understand. Never mind. Welcome.
Okay, Prince Petty, you invited.
How y'all doing?
Hi.
I am so done. I'm about to drop off. What's happening?
Your photo is just amazing.
I'm just so distracted right now.
I thought it was.
How y'all doing?
Hi. How are you? Did you see the movie?
No, I didn't. I actually wanted to go see it tomorrow. I'm going to go see it tomorrow, so I wanted to drop in just to see like what y'all's take was like on it, but I didn't know it was about aliens.
I don't think any of us did.
So are you telling me you want us to spoil the movie before you even go see it?
Yeah, a little bit. I kind of want to know if it's worth going to see.
Now, I have to ask you take it to your house because on StreamYard, to my understanding, if you look at Tiff's picture up in the top right, when you come on StreamYard, usually you don't have a profile picture unless you've been on StreamYard before and you set your profile picture. So I feel like what you did was intentional, and I have to ask, what's going on?
I guess, yeah, it probably was intentional. Because I saw this picture on Facebook and I liked it. And I thought it was accurate, so I decided to choose it. And I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come support your channel." And
were you close? Did you guys know each other? Were you close?
And the red and everything, I like it.
I thought it was.
I know, right? I love this color.
Come on, Sally Jesse Raphael.
Okay, did you? So you don't have a review of the movie?
No, I haven't seen it, but I want to go see it tomorrow. But I'm wondering if I should go see it because y'all talking about aliens or whatever. But
I would
just
mhm.
can I just bring up one point about that? Even though I haven't seen the movie,
I mean, you
my
can since other people have and they have not seen it. I'll let you go ahead.
thank you. I just wanted to say that have y'all ever thought about, or has this ever crossed your mind since like Black people are supposed to be the oldest people of the earth? Have you ever thought about that maybe white people are actually the aliens?
That
That since we were supposed to cohabitate the earth the longest and been here and have the mitochondria, DNA, and the chromosomes and all of that, have y'all ever thought about them being the aliens?
Absolutely. And I'm
that
gonna regret saying that with my face here. But no, honestly, I thought about that while watching like it was some Fox show. There was some Fox show where they kept talking about they just kept talking about the aliens, the aliens, the aliens, right? And and then it turned out that they were the aliens and they were like lizard people or something. It was a whole Oh, it's on Netflix.
Oh,
It's like a
okay.
I gotta watch that.
there's okay, so on Netflix there's a show where this girl she works at like this top secret government lab and then like pretty much everybody's lizard people, aliens, and they've been working all this time to keep a fake government going so that nobody knew that the aliens had moved in, but all the aliens were mostly white people and rich people.
oh yeah, and the
Okay.
dude was killing. They were sick,
You talking
like
about They Live?
I don't know the name of it. It was like a cartoon
That's
type
what I
thing.
was about to say. What is the name of that? I need to watch that.
The dad was like an evil scientist. I'll go on Netflix and figure it out, and then I'll drop it in the chat because I don't want to take too much time talking about that.
weren't they drinking like syrup or something, and they had to kill the main thing. I know what you're talking about, LB.
Yeah, I can't even like. It was just one of those things I watched while binging Netflix.
So in general, me and Alfrey and LB and Vitamin love the movie.
No, you can't name people who didn't see it.
Vitamin is spared. She studied thyself approved.
First of all, as far as I can speak to
Wikipedia.
her, because as someone who didn't see the movie and read about it, I think I would like it. So my suggestion to you is if you're really trying to see if it's worth your time, because I'm going to see it now because I feel like it's worth my time having found out about it and read about it. You might want to look into like watch some reviews or something, or even watch back on this live because there was a lot of information, spoiler alert, and then see if you want to go see it.
I have never heard anyone for any movie tell me you need to go read the Bible, you need to go read reviews, read the Wikipedia details and summary before I go watch a movie for that movie to be good and make sense. Never in
Or
my
if
life.
you're on the fence about it, like if it's a movie you just want to see, then you're just going to go see it because you're like, oh, I'm in it to win it. But if you're just like, I don't know, it looked like I might like it, but I might be mad if I don't, then you may want to check it out.
But the problem is, like, a lot of people went in wanting to like the movie and it was not good. I wanted to like the movie and it just was not good. It wasn't.
Thank you.
I feel like,
I kind of
But
feel
did you
like all
want
his movies been like that since the first Get Out.
that's what I'm saying. Like, did you want to like it because you looked at the subject matter and you were like, I like it, or did you want to like it because you would like the other movie? Like, was it really about this movie? Because
What
I knew
subject
I
matter?
didn't want to just go
I watched
see it.
trailers before I went.
Yeah, I
The
saw the
the
trailers
trailer
and I
don't
was like,
tell
I
you nothing
don't
about it.
know.
That's why I asked you, Vitamin, what subject matter. The trailer, I didn't even understand anything from the trailer, and after
But
watching it, I
that's what
just
I'm
knew it was
saying.
gonna
And
be
to me, I'm like, okay, this could be some BS. So I want to
no.
find out about it because before I go, because I don't know what I'm looking at here. I know what it seems to look like, but to me, honestly, the trailers set too lofty of an expectation in my mind. So that's why I was like, I need to see what
This
this is about first to see if I even want to see it. Because I was
what
like,
was
he's really going through a lot
I
to
think
make this like a what's going on.
I think the difference is maybe how people approach the movie, because I don't want to go do a whole bunch of research before I go see a movie to like a movie. I want to go there, watch the movie, and if I like the movie, I'll probably a lot of times we'll go back and do some more research after the movie. But to sit there and have to like do a whole report just to go like the movie makes no sense to me. I don't want outside influences affecting how I feel about the movie initially.
Invincible,
Yeah.
Avengers
But can I
Endgame.
ask a question?
One second, and then you can go. Avengers Endgame is a sequel to another movie, which you literally need to watch the first movie to get context to. This is a standalone. You did not have to go read the Avengers comic books and go look at the lore and Wikipedia.
I
So
beg to
no,
differ.
It's better if you do, but
it's better if you do, but it was a standalone movie that I love. With the standalone two movies that I love, the only context they needed were those two movies that were made to be watched one after another. And then you could enjoy the movie without having to go read comic books back 80 years in the Bible to make sure that you have the accurate depiction of what you're looking like. What are y'all talking about? How is that even a comparison? But you can go
I
ahead.
beg to differ
oh
because like the Avengers movie, it missed so many things out of the comics. Like the actual movie, it fell. A lot of the actual storyline fell off,
They're not
and then
related except by name
yeah.
I don't like
Can
that
I ask a
argument.
and
question?
character.
Well, a
You
lot of
can
movies do that.
you can ask a question, take it to your house. Then I think I'm going to remove you because you have not watched the movie, and you said you are here
I'm
to
sorry.
listen to us
I
review.
want to watch the movie, but I'm wondering, is it like a spin-off? That's the question I want to ask. Is it like a spin-off of the first two? Is it like
Oh
Get
yeah,
Out?
it's a continuation to Get Out.
No, it's not.
But
Don't
that's
let him
my
do that
Don't
to
thing.
you.
don't
It
tell
No,
seems
her
it's
like,
not.
that.
Stop playing.
but that's what it seems like to me. Like all his movies is kind of the same. So that's why I wanted to get y'all's take on
Well,
it.
well, we were discussing that it has a theme, like they all have kind of interarching theme or inner connecting themes in terms of speaking to a societal problem. So like Get Out was about racism, and then Us was about like classism. And so I was saying that, and me, and I think Tiff agreed with me, and someone else might have agreed with me too, that I felt like this one was about the way we consume content, and we don't take into account that these are actual like murders and assaults and things that we're seeing, and we're just kind of looking at it from a standpoint of, oh, this isn't stimulating me, or this isn't entertaining enough, or I'm, kind of like Gladiators back in the day where people were actually getting killed and tortured, and people were just like, yeah, give us more.
Oh, okay.
It's
So, well, that's kind of deep. Okay, I
it's
I can get with that.
and when we talk about like black femicide, I don't know if anybody watches Leah Gordon, but it's like every day she has a story about something that's happened tragically to a black woman. And I had to like stop watching it just because it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
every day there's a story. And why are we that desensitized?
Because we get bombarded with it every minute, every second, and then it's like if you get on social media, it's a happy video, then it's a sad video, then it's a really sad video, then it's a super happy video, then it's like it's just playing with our emotions all day, every day, to the point where I think we become kind of null and void of a lot of emotion, or it can actually be the opposite, to the point where we have a lot of emotions that we are not able to express because social media kind of guides you in a way to where you can't even really be empathetic or sympathetic the way you want to be to human emotion.
I
Right,
agree.
and that's
And it,
what he was going for. Well, that's what it seems like.
well, it's like today, Lake Lanier was trending, and I knew what it was trending for, and it was just like, what happened now?
You
They've
said
Who?
had
Lake Lanier.
Lake Lanier. They've had
Oh,
50
the
uh,
dead people lake.
already.
Famous, I love you. I wasn't the biggest fan. I know you've seen my comments. I wasn't the biggest fan of yours. I was a little skeptical of you, but you won me over. I really appreciate you, Famous, just to let you know.
You're on mute, Famous.
Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you.
What about me?
Oh,
We see you. We see you, Prince Patty.
Oh, before she goes, for people who have the same question as her, I just wanted to say that I don't recommend that you do research before you watch the movie. I think you should watch the movie first because I think that's part of it. Like, you leaving with that disappointment or that emptiness is part of the viewing experience, and that's what motivates you to want to do the research. Like, nobody wants to do research and then go to the movie. Like, that's frustrating. But like, if you go see a movie that inspires you to do research, to me that's inspiring. I'm in love with Jordan Peele right now, even though he chose a white woman.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any movie that can inspire you, which is the point. Like, you go to the movies to be moved. You don't go there to, watch things die and explode. You actually have to have dialogue, which I'm about to get off, but I am interested in what you guys think about the new Black Panther movie, but you guys can talk about that. The trailer, at least. Y'all can talk about that after this discussion.
I'm looking
you
forward
guys.
to maybe watching the Emmett Till movie.
The
Is it
what?
gonna be with Michael B. Jordan?
Wait, who?
I feel like that's gonna be disappointing. Like, I
Michael B.
wanna-
Jordan?
The new Black Panther, is it gonna be with Michael B. Jordan? I'm
Oh.
just kidding.
Oh no! What?
No, you didn't see him.
Oh.
He's dead. He died.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. Yeah, he did. Killmonger. Yeah, okay. So it's new people.
No,
They
it
haven't
looks
actually
like they're just
revealed.
focusing on the women. The mom is being Angela Bassett, the lady that plays his sister, the Dora Milaje, and Lupita. They showed all of them, so they're just going to be carrying on everything.
That's convenient.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that's convenient with the times.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and play it. Yeah.
Do not play it.
Yeah, no, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, if you do it, it's gonna you're gonna have a copyright.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I will play it behind the scene and watch it until you got. I'll just play. Let me play it back here and watch it, guys. I'll describe it. They're jumping around a lot.
Petty, no.
In the Discord. We can watch it in the Discord, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say, post it in the Discord.
Y'all do not bring up the Discord again because I feel bad. People have been reaching out to me, and I feel like such a terrible person.
You're good. We're full. It's full. It's full.
You said what you said.
My
It's
Discord
full.
is open.
What happened in the Discord?
It's full currently. It's
Steven said that before. I'm like, dang, what
we'll
happened?
revisit this in 2023.
We have to protect the sanctity of the
But
temple.
no, I understand on this platform. That's why I've been like, I watch y'all, like I watch my certain favorites or whatever, and I love y'all and I love the conversations y'all have. But that's like been the whole reason why I don't come up, because I'm like nervous to like people are really trying to dox people, really trying to expose people, or really like people are like kind of hateful or whatever, and that's just like worrisome, like cause I do have a life and things that I worry about in my life, like so.
Yeah, the internet is angry at everyone.
The if Michael B. Jordan is going to be the leading person in Black Panther 2, I'm not watching it.
He's dead.
No, Michael B. Jordan.
No, I'm talking about his character. When I say he's dead, his character.
The MCU has a way of bringing people back from the dead.
You're right, but I'm pretty sure they said it's Sherry.
Like they might have brought him back or something.
I'm pretty sure they said it's Sherry. They was doing the whole thing with her and all the stuff that's going on.
Michael B. Jordan cannot act, and I do not want to see him leading anything in
He's
front of
not a great actor at all. He's not.
And
So can we
the
ask this?
warrior king with the women.
And then females act like he was like so fine. He's okay, he's decent, but he's not like the finest dude. Like,
His
I
face
think
looks
Peter
weird.
Petty's trying to go. My bad. I'm done.
Oh
I'm
no,
sorry.
Michael B. Jordan's face is
Let me
weird.
be quiet.
That's all.
No, if we're gonna talk,
No, whatever.
can we discuss that? Like, do people actually see that?
The people what?
Want to see the Viola movie?
I don't
The
know what.
Viola Davis movie?
Oh, the Michelle Obama movie.
Oh, you
What?
what?
I
I'm
don't know what y'all
No.
talking about.
Viola Davis is playing Michelle.
She already did, and he's not talking about that though. He's talking about the one. Well, we're talking about the one where all the women are the warriors for this tribe, and they
the
fight
Woman
the.
King.
I
That's
mean,
not
I
what
would
it's
love to see
called.
the dynamic for women.
The
I
Woman
would love
King,
to see
like the
that for
Lion
women,
King.
but
Oh, is it? Is that not what it's called? The Woman King?
The
Yeah.
woman.
Is
That's a
it?
thing.
Oh wow! But I don't. Is she
I thought it
the
was the
king?
Warrior
She?
Queen. I thought it was the Warrior King.
Someone told me I probably wouldn't enjoy that movie because it's just gonna be black women saving black men and laboring and working to do it. That's
My
the movie
thing,
y'all want me to watch.
it's a tribe of
Most of
women and
the
they're
warriors were captured from other tribes and like basically they're slave warriors.
How y'all know the plot of the movie already?
Wait, is this
Because
like
No,
it's based
everybody
off
knows
of
the
real
history
life.
of the kingdom.
she say based off real life. Okay,
no, seriously, I was
we
saying is it
already
based on
know.
real like
I
I
mean,
genuinely meant that
history, that
because
is.
if
Well,
there
that's
was
true.
female
Yeah, that's true.
Her face is stressing me out. Just the expression on her face is like my stomach just went into knots. It's
One
stressful.
thing, one thing Viola gonna do is make a face that lets you know she is really.
She look like she
I'm
breaking out the
gonna
belt though. I'm
I'm gonna
scared.
watch it because I want to, but like I'm very afraid of just the entire imagery that's going to come from it. And I don't know, like there's something about someone is I don't
That
know.
is take it to your house. I'm gonna put you on mute just so we can talk without the echo.
Yeah. Um I want to watch it because like I like Viola Davis, but also the trailer seems bad. Like it seems like it's gonna be good, but I think the problem is again the imagery. Like that's just like I feel like we're all kind of tired of seeing the Wakandan warrior.
Exhausted. Exhausted.
I could watch the Dora because I feel like they're still. I don't know how to explain it. They're
They're
still
beautiful.
feminine
Yeah.
in
They're
their.
magical.
Yeah, like even with the no hair and everything else, there's a very regal and feminine presence. They never tried to make them masculine. It was always like, no, these women are fierce women and they're protecting us. And this is just like, it's guttural. It's
Yeah.
bad. You know, it's like
That's the
her
real
jaw is
depiction now.
tight. Her jaw is tight, like it's stressing me.
I'm gonna
Uh,
watch it though. I need to know what
Isn't
it's
that the
about.
truth though?
Who
Did you
gave
read
Don Boyega that wig?
the Tumhe tribe or kingdom and their participation? I think people have a problem with the participation in the transatlantic slave trade. And
Well,
they
we
have
already know how that movie and they failed. So
Panda
I
and
I was start. I'm looking at Erica's comment, and I feel like I was conflicted about saying it that way because I didn't really have the language to. They don't look stressed. I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like they don't look like they're taking on a burden. They look like they are proud and free and regal in it, whereas the expression on Viola's face is giving struggle and strain and sacrifice in a way that's not like I feel like in Wakanda they are exalted, and I feel like they're like even if you go back to that picture, Petty, where she's sitting there, bruh's face, he looks really chill, where I feel like her face looks really like the weight of the world is on her shoulders and she's probably like carrying him. You know what I mean? But in Wakanda, like they're all equally. I don't feel like, and I haven't seen this movie, so I don't know if that'll be the case or not. But I feel like the Black Panther looked at them as equals. Like he's like, yes, I am the king, but he respected them equally as people that are participating, like co-workers. You know what I mean?
I don't like that. That bothers
I'm
me.
gonna withhold judgment. I think someone said femininity can be a lot of different things, and I agree with this. The portrayal of Black femininity has been very specific in the media, so that's my only problem. But I'm still going to give it a chance. I don't know what I'm expected because they played Beyonce power in the trailer, and so now I have to see it.
Lord.
You're not
So
wrong.
when does that come out?
It's Beyonce week. It's Beyonce week. For those who don't know, we get music on Friday.
29th, right? Her album comes out on the 29th.
Girl, I
If it
already
comes
know.
out while I'm live, anything that's happening is going to end. So just
Okay.
anywho, I'm gonna have to head out. I have to prepare for a meeting tomorrow. So
Thanks, Petty. This was fun.
Wait, that don't mean the.
So Beyonce has left, so everybody else is going.
I was about to say, dang, you can't finish.
They said, "Oh, Themis is leaving. Shut it down. Cut the lights. Cut the feed."
The people watching just went. Wait.
So this is the beginning, the end.
Thank
y'all
you for
can't be
joining.
disrespecting this man's platform like that.
I'll stay petty. I was about to say bye, Themis.
I'm glad Themis came to his show. But I knew you support him. But yes, I'm glad Themis came.
Themis,
Take it to your home.
Once we did the Bible verse, Cantor did go up to
Thank you,
4.5.
Themis.
So where are you at now, Themis?
I am still at a 4, but I will say I like that Bible verse.
Not
I
the
did like the Bible
4.5.
verse.
Not a 4.5.
Tiff, I'll give you the 4.5.
Yay! Thank you, Themis.
Bye.
And then as the years go by, you'll think back to the movie and you'll be like, you know what? I'll give that a 9.
All right. Do not hold your breath for that one.
I feel like you just don't want homework.
Bye.
Now take it to your home. I have an issue because you came up on my live and said, "Oh my God, Themis, I love your show. I enjoy it so much." And I said, "What about me?" And you said, "Who?"
I didn't say that.
Really made me feel
I didn't say that.
You
just started your situation, your show, and I came to support
your situation.
the perpetual drag on every live stream.
No, seriously. You just started your channel, and I've come right away.
Okay.
Have I not? Since our interaction on Facebook, where we was both dragging people on Facebook. You don't remember?
Oh, that's who this
you
is.
don't remember
Okay.
me?
Because I didn't know who you were coming up here with this profile picture.
Oh, see, you always doing something on Facebook, then you hiding that from us. Now I feel a type of way.
But it was. That's how we basically interacted. And I was like, Patty, I remember that name or whatever. And I was like, okay. I was like, I miss you, and we was both like dragging the same dudes on Facebook. But after that, I was like, okay, and I seen him on Themis panel. I already recognized him, and then I was like, when I saw him start his channel, I'm like, I want support. So,
okay, I appreciate you being here. We are going to try to wrap this up in 2 minutes, guys. If you don't know what she just said, I was dragging a group of men on Facebook for some interesting behavior they were doing, and she saw that. She then saw that I was on a panel on Themis and Thoth, like completely unrelated. So we don't know each other. She just saw me dragging some men and recognized. And one thing I am
right, just straight off of social media.
Yeah, that was just completely random. But I think we're all collectively giving this movie a 0 out of 10. So no need to do ratings or anything like that again.
A 0 with a 1 in front of it.
A what? A 0 out of 1?
A 0 with a 1 in front of it.
Oh, y'all are so trash. This movie was a 8.5.
Who said that? Was that a free?
Was that free?
Yeah, this was
No,
an
I said
8.5.
You've
it's
been
a
dragging the
0 with a
movie.
1 in
So
front of
the
it.
movie was really that bad.
Wait, you said
So
a
I
zero,
basically
a
need to
one with a
save my
zero in front
money
of
on
it?
that
I'm a
now.
nerd. I said a 0 with a 1 in front of it. So 10.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you
That's
said
cool.
a one with in front. Never mind.
I'm a nerd. It's okay.
I
Okay.
got LB. It's definitely. I'm gonna say a 9, but I think this is. I would say watching. I'm echoing. Okay, thank you. Since watching Us, this was the first movie that made me do this much work, and I appreciated it.
Would you have done this work if we did not have this stream planned?
Yes,
I would not.
Oh, okay.
you would
With
have
that,
not. Like, you would have just left.
what? Oh, you got take it to your house. You got too much going on in your
Oh, I'm
background.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I need you to get situated or stay on mute. Thank you. With that being said, I'm going to end the stream here. I am going to have an after show. If you guys are interested and you saw my live stream, all I do in the after show is tie up loose ends. If you guys have any more comments on this, and I'm going to take probably 2 or 3 cards from my dusty deck of messy questions, and you guys are welcome to answer if you would like to. Thank you, everybody who joined, even if you're only here for themes.
Wow.
And yeah, let me go ahead and. Okay, guys, you're in for a very special treat because you get to play in the dust with me for a little bit here. Who is? Oh, take it to your house. Pop back up. I'm supporting by default big sister status. I don't. Am I giving big sis? I don't know what that means. Did I read this wrong?
No, I think they're saying they're supporting you like a big sister.
Yeah, you're their little brother, and they're the big sister.
Okay, I thought I was like,
No, we
am I
protect you as
giving?
baby brother.
Okay, I mean, if I'm giving girl boss, that's fine.
Wow.
I have about 3 questions for the panel. Anybody may answer. The first question is: a woman confesses to her significant other that she gave a coworker oral sex. He feels that's worse than cheating because she didn't get anything in return. Does he have a point? Explain. Anybody may go. Please be respectful of each other.
I'm sorry. Repeat the question one more time.
I'm gonna repeat it and I'm typing it in the chat now to put on screen. A woman confesses to her significant other she gave a coworker oral sex. He feels like the significant other feels like that's worse than cheating because she didn't get anything in return. Does he have a point and explain?
I get
I
the
feel,
logic.
Hmm?
I get the logic.
I feel like that's a man's question, of course.
This is from tonight's conversation. So if y'all have seen that podcast.
Oh wow. I mean, I
So,
get how he would
I
say
guess
that because
I
it's like
understand
she's
what.
servicing him like exclusively, and it's not like they had, full on intercourse together, or they did, he did her and she did him. So I could see, and especially seeing how men think, I could see how they came to that conclusion.
Here's
I feel like.
maybe she's just a pleaser.
Well, I
is
I
understand
think
why
that's
he
the
would think that
problem.
because he's like, well, if you're gonna cheat on me, at least get something out of it. And she's just like, no, I'm just gonna cheat on you just because.
Right.
The purpose of cheating, it's for funsies. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a cheater. But I'm trying to figure out in what world is oral sex not cheating? Like, are they in an open relationship with oral?
Well, he is calling it cheating. He's just saying that
I
she's
don't
not
think it
getting
was
it
ever
back.
in question if it was cheating. I think he's saying, like, is it worse than regular intercourse or like a 69 or something because she purely did it for that person's pleasure?
Well,
No,
I would say that's
cheating is cheating.
woman, myself, not. Oh, sorry.
I feel like cheating is cheating. I'm sorry.
My answer is yes. He does have a point.
Let me put
Look
it
So
like
with
this.
Val.
I think
Look with Val.
So can you really go to a partner and be like, well, you know what, I just gave that person a hand, so it wasn't like real cheating because I didn't give him my vagina, so
That's
it's not
worse
real
though,
cheating.
because
It's
he
just
gonna kiss
partial cheating.
her.
Yeah, but once she gets off,
Could you tell your partner that and think your partner will accept that?
can I make a comment on the
what if she gets off on
Um,
giving that?
LB, you can make a comment. Let me try to have some structure and we go one by one, guys. Sorry, I didn't want you guys interrupting each other.
I'm sorry. I just don't like talking over people and I didn't want to like just jump in.
You're fine.
Sorry.
You can go ahead.
But what I was gonna say, because I'm looking back at the question. So a woman confesses her significant other that she gave a coworker oral sex. Now, like, and he feels like that's worse than cheating, like I guess full on. But my thing is like, I feel like the whole his whole mindset is really assumptive or presumptive. Yeah, I think that's the word I'm looking for. Like he's making a lot of assumptions, and my thing is that I've met women, and I know for a fact that there are women, not myself included, but there are women who actually enjoy oral sex and giving it because they get off on how they think they make the other person feel. And so, like, to me, she is technically getting out of something out of it. And the real reason that the guy would be mad in this situation is that she enjoys giving to this man and receiving his response to what she's giving better than she likes sleeping with you.
What if I framed it as she had regular sex with him, but she did not orgasm or find it pleasurable, but the man she was with did?
Well, that's something that you really can't know until you have sex with people.
Well, we don't know anything about this question, but here it is. Why y'all want to put stipulation now? No, take
Hmm?
the question like it is. We're gonna assume she told her man, I didn't even like it. It wasn't even fun.
But she wouldn't have known. Like when you're giving someone oral sex, you're going in knowing that they're going to do that, and unless you know that you orgasm just from doing that, you know that this is purely for outside of what LB says, which is totally a thing, but mostly. From the outside looking in, it looks like that person that's receiving is going to be the main one getting the pleasure. When you're going, I would like to think that if you're having sex with someone and it's the first time you had sex with them, you're thinking, assuming, hoping that you're going to complete. You know what I mean? But I'm speaking as a woman, that's not a guarantee.
80% of women, I think, were polled, and they said they don't orgasm from sex usually. So
Yeah, it's
I
a
think
risk.
that's the angle. I'm not even. I mean, my ex had a fixation around oral sex. Like to her, that's a very intimate, extremely like, what's it called, taboo thing. Like even more so than regular sex. So I can understand from that perspective. But
I thought I was the only one.
huh?
I thought I was the only one. I'm glad to know that your ex is on the same page as me because I feel like oral is more intimate than intercourse.
And then there are people with like germs, and then there's
Yeah.
people. So that's how I'm gonna say he's perceiving this as. This is something that he find. Nah, he didn't say that. I think I'm stretching. So we're gonna frame it as, like I said, 80% of women say they don't orgasm. So to him, you just went in and got used like a sexual object and didn't really get anything. But like y'all have been saying, we don't know that she didn't get anything from this
Yeah,
encounter.
like some people like being used. She might have got a promotion. She might have got a new working spot. Like she
A
might get
promotion.
lunch for
Not
the
a
next week. We
promotion.
don't know what she got out of that.
he could be mad that he didn't get anything out of it. Like she
Mm.
probably got something out of it, but he can't benefit from what she got out of it. So
And
he
that
mad.
was my takeaway. He's mad because he didn't get nothing. And because she gave something without getting anything for him, and then she also gave something, and the fact that she gave it implies that there was some sort of benefit for her, whether like she might not have benefited after the fact, it might have been horrible, but like going into it, it was something that she wanted to do and that she enjoyed initially, and then she was like whatever happened after she started, that's
I was
Hopefully,
So,
a good ending.
so
I was
for if so, let's say it's your man and he goes and gives some woman at his job cunnilingus. How would you feel about that?
She actually might have loved it.
Wait,
He
who?
just don't can't
Oh,
stand the fact that she didn't do it on his terms.
mhm. The
wait.
question,
So,
if you guys
so
didn't hear the question she just asked, how would you feel since y'all, I think most, if not all of y'all are women, how would you feel if your husband, significant other, gave his coworker cunnilingus as in oral sex on a woman?
Depends on the circumstances.
It's a
no.
lot of them doing it
I really don't
whether they
know.
asking or not.
Yeah, but I
But
wouldn't like it. I'd be
uh,
pissed off. Don't
To
touch
be
me.
would
How
you
many
find
of
that?
y'all doing it anyway?
look,
Would you?
okay, so real
That's a
shit.
good
I wasn't gonna
question.
do it anyways, and I've told people I'm dating to go have somebody else do that shit. But, but
Monkeypox is the new pandemic. They just made it official that monkeypox is a new pandemic,
I
and
saw that.
that's the new HIV right now because it's passed from man to man. So a lot of women is gonna be wondering why they got
Wait,
that don't
wait,
sound
wait.
all
right.
over
It's,
their
it's
body.
gay and
I do
bi.
not think that
Wait,
is.
it's
I
sexually
don't
transmitted?
It's
agree with
Yeah,
sexually
No,
it's
it's
pretty much
transmitted from men to
passing sexually.
men.
it's in
No, it
high
is
frequency
sexually
That's
among
not
transmitted.
possible. That's
It's sexually transmitted from men to men.
what
So
I'm
it's going to be a lot of women that's going to get a rude awakening.
what I'm saying is that it's not possible that it's just men. Like it's being
Um,
transmitted people to people, and I feel like that's
Yeah.
like putting out
They said gay sex
Right now, it's like
specifically though.
95%
They
harmful to
said that
people.
saying that
about
they're getting
AIDS
it.
too. That's
hold
Wait,
probably not
Well, AIDS was
accurate.
once upon a time.
no.
let me
Once
pull up.
upon a time, it
I
was
pulled up.
the.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I pulled up
I
monkeypox
feel like
because
that's a
I
really
don't want
ignorant way
to.
to look at it. I might
Hold
have
up,
to
guys.
say.
Hold up. I don't want to spread misinformation. Monkeypox, to my knowledge, is not spread by gay sex, anal, anything like that. I don't think it's sexually transmitted at all.
It is sexually
According to,
transmitted.
hold up, ma'am, hold up. According to Google, a tool I use quite frequently, it is transmitted through close physical contact, skin to skin contact, exchange of body fluids, transmission via respiratory droplets at close range, blah, 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 sneezing, saliva, and stuff like that. That would not indicate that it is specific to gay men, lesbian, heterosexual, or sex, period. That's all I wanted to say. I don't want to spread any
Yeah.
misinformation on my platform, and I do think that that comes off as that comes off as homophobic to me. Not saying that you're a homophobic person, but that type of rhetoric where it's like monkeypox is the new aid, it's gay men having sex, spreading it. I do think
I,
that comes off as homophobic.
one thing that is true though, which I think was she was trying to say was that it is something that it is running through. I hate to say running through the gay population, and so like they're more susceptible to monkeypox than other demographics. Is that what you're trying to say?
Take it to
Or
your house. I think she was asking you. I think. You're on mute. Take it to your house if you're talking.
Can we go to the next dusty question?
No, I was saying look at the CDC. I wouldn't just spit anything for no reason. Look at specifically the Centers of Disease Control and as far as monkeypox.
Here's
I
why. Here's
have
sorry. I
I
didn't mean
have
to.
looked at it.
All
I
right.
looked at it yesterday actually because I thought monkeypox was a joke. But then I realized it was a real thing and I did go there and look at it and still at the end of the day there's no such thing as a sexually transmitted disease that is specifically passed man to man or like same sex partner to same sex partner at all. And I will admit that like, I have like skin of the game or whatever, like I'm bi and I was offended by that comment, but also it's not right and it causes so much harm to put stuff out there like that. And if that's not what you intended,
I didn't see
maybe
that. I
reworded
didn't
it
say
to
that
create.
to say that. I'm sorry. I didn't say that to say that it was only passed through homosexual activity. I was saying that to say that they specifically marketed through the CDC as a disease that is passed predominantly by down low and homosexual males. I didn't make that up. That is what they marketed it as. Now, if that's wrong, I'm wrong.
I'm
But
not.
that's the way they presented it.
Well, I think in order for us to be safe, I don't know if anybody's a medical professional, and if so, they shouldn't be giving their professional opinion on this platform. So I think that'd be best. Thank you for the advice, and we can all go do some research for ourselves. But can we proceed to the next dusty question?
Yeah, we can. And
Yeah.
again, I do want to let people know who are watching there is nothing to suggest that monkeypox is specific to gay men or gay sex. Um, yeah. And again, I found the comparison to HIV and the referencing to it as the gay disease, even without, let's just leave the research behind for a second, but even just framing it as the gay disease similar to AIDS and HIV, I felt was poor. But we can move on to the next question. I'm gonna assume that it was not your intention to be anti anything. The next question is,
No, that's not my intention.
and let me put this on the screen. Since we're talking about sex, a man finds his significant other's sex toy and throws it away because he feels it is too big. He tells her she's not allowed to have any toys bigger than him. Is this reasonable? Explain.
Are you actually having conversations with men, and they're where are these questions coming from?
This is a card deck. The
Sex
questions
without
are
real
for
conversation about sex talk. Okay.
finally a real conversation where we address the real topic, right, guys?
Not really.
I think this shows off some insecurity, right? I think the questions are dumb, but I do think they. All right. I think the questions are dumb, but I do think they invite the conversation, especially when I have guy friends who may be of the dusty caliber, where we can discuss questions like this in depth and kind of, again, I was going to say, if you feel like it's too big, what that says to me is you have an insecurity about yourself. I don't think it's an issue if your partner has toys that are bigger than you. If they stick to the wall, I've seen some weird stuff. Vibrate, thrust, gyrate, like some weird stuff, right, guys? I don't think if you're secure in yourself, I don't think you're going to be threatened by plastic. And from what girls tell me, there's plastic does not replace a man, but then some girls tell me you can be replaced by plastic. I don't know. So
There's
I feel,
no
I feel like it's
contest.
only, go ahead.
Oh no, that was all I was saying. I'm sorry.
there's no contest.
Yeah.
The plastic wins. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
These men can't compete. Someone told me
Yes.
it's not
Plastic ones?
the.
Oh Lord.
Somebody told me it's not the penis. It's the thing that's attached to it that walks around and talks and gives stupid opinions. So I guess I would agree there.
So,
I feel like his logic is only reasonable if he doesn't actually care about whether or not she's happy or not. He's just like, well, you're gonna get what you're gonna get and be happy with it, even if it's bad.
yeah.
Did anyone have any thoughts before I ask my last question?
I have to say, in my experience, they just generally have a problem with toys, period, because like I said, they don't compare, and it's like this thing. Like when you hear men talk about toys in general, it's just this thing of why you want to, the same as anything else. Why you want something other than me? You should just, like the last person said, just take what I have to offer and be happy with it.
Why are y'all pleading the fifth and saying y'all don't want to?
Let me put in my personal business here on the internet.
That's real. So I have a cousin. Since I have a million of them, I'll say I could tell the story. But so me and my cousin were having conversations with my aunt because all of us like women, right? And so I'm the least experienced out of all of us, right? And so we were talking about it, and like we all have history with men or whatever. And like we were talking about it, and I was like, well, my cousin made a joke. She was like, well, I like my strap better, or I like a strap better than a dude because with a strap you could get any size you want, any color. It has functions. Like you could get veins if you like, you get no veins, like whatever you want to do, you could get extra attachment. She was like, it's better because you have more options. And then like with a guy, like once you get with that guy, that's kind of what you get, and then they be having insecurity issues about like, oh, I don't want to use a toy. So like, if you just want some variety, you can't switch it up with a dude, but with a dude if he's insecure. But with a woman, like it's not a personal offense to her if you bring a new strap, unless she's just really attached to her strap, which
which is like crazy, right?
um
Um, but yeah, like I mean, I agree. I just feel like I want that masculine figure there behind. I don't just want you for your penis, contrary to popular belief.
it's like
Um,
all of it together for you.
yeah,
The
like I
package,
think men are too focused on
the package is
their
And
package and not bringing the full. They're so focused on the package that they're not bringing the full package, if that makes sense.
yeah, and honestly, that's why like I wouldn't claim to be a lesbian even if I got with a woman and stayed with a woman for the rest of my life, because at the end of the day, I do view those two things different. Like, can I go the rest of my life without a dude? Yeah. But also, like, do I understand that an actual human attached to a member is different than a woman attached to a strap, because it's like literally part of that person and it comes as like a full package, and it's a different thing. Like, it's just a different thing. And I think like for some lesbians, they don't mess with dudes at all, so like to them they're like, what do you mean? Like, it serves the same function, but like unless you have that experience with men, you wouldn't see it that way, or if you had all negative experience with men. So I get what you're saying, but also I don't like PP. So yeah,
If he's not going
I've
to,
been having lesbian relationships with guys.
If
well,
he's
we know
not,
statistically 80% of women in heterosexual relationships have never received an orgasm. It's either why would he throw out her toy instead of trying to understand? It doesn't seem like there was a conversation like, oh, how can I improve? How can I be better for you? He just went on throw her toy away. That's rude.
I don't know if I'm mad at the guy, because that's a personal offense. It's kind of like if you were sleeping with your dude and he went and got a pee pocket and he was like, "Yeah, you're just not tight enough anymore, so I just want to do this on the side for a little bit." Like, to
Well,
me,
I
that's
think it.
like offensive. And like, you can bring in different toys for different things. And honestly, I feel like if I was gonna use a toy that was bigger than my dude, I would probably just use it by myself instead of with him, and use other toys with him that are less offensive. I don't like, that's just me.
Well, it just
Your
says he
egos be that
found it.
fragile.
It didn't say they were using it together. So I wonder. Okay,
Well, my
let's say he
private
has a
stash would be
micro.
locked
What are
in a
you supposed to do
precinct now.
then? Like,
I feel like if you got a giant dildo somewhere in
no,
your
not giant, but like if he has a micro, like, come on, and you can't even feel it at all. Like, at least let her have that when she's not around
no,
you. Like, she doesn't have to say anything to you.
to me that's like dealing with an insecure man, and I wouldn't do that anyways. Cause like I actually have dated somebody with a micro P before, and
I'm
I was
sorry.
young, so I ran away. But in hindsight, everything was good about the relationship except his micro P, right? If I could go back and redo it, I'd probably just buy a toy, because he was cool with using toys because he knew he had a micro P. And I feel like more guys that, like, if you know that it's just not it or whatever, like, see what you can do to modify it. Like, I'm not going to go into too many because then it's going to make me seem like I have a million partners. But there's another one. He just, he's not like my ideal, but also he does other things that like that made up for it, and we had a long lasting relationship situation, whatever. And like, it, to me, it's like whatever you come with, there's going to be something that, like, for instance, like for me, I don't have big boobs or a huge ass, like, right? And I've dated titty men and ass men, but like at the end of the day, like, they're like, to me it's like they, you, when you get with somebody, it's more than just their body, so you adapt to it. And honestly, like, I don't know how you adapt to like wanting boobs and ass and shit, but if a guy is looking, like, for instance, if I'm at a bar and a guy's looking at, I'm with a guy and he's looking at a girl with a big ass and I don't have an ass, I'm not going to be like, offended. I'm just gonna be like, oh well, at least you got to see some ass today because it's not gonna be mine. But like, I don't know. Like, is that weird? Or yeah.
I mean, no, but I don't think that if you are committed to somebody or married or whatever your situation is, it doesn't make you unattracted to people. You just should only be doing certain things with your person. But if you know that your person likes a particular aesthetic that you might not have, like, I don't know, I think women are beautiful anyway, so I'm quick to be like, ooh, look at her, she's cute. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't really.
He shouldn't have thrown her away. Like, just have a conversation.
Yeah, he
I
didn't have
feel
to
like
throw
it
away.
was
That
very
was childish.
disrespectful to just throw it away and not even talk to her about it at all.
So if
Yeah.
y'all found a pea pocket just lying around the house, y'all wouldn't throw that away? I'd be shocked and throw it
I
away,
wouldn't throw it
like
away.
in the
I'd talk to him
dumpster,
about
No,
it.
we
My
we
like,
need,
feelings would
we
be
need to have
hurt.
a conversation. Like,
and
what's
pretend that I thought I saw like a Pomeranian or like some kind of weird thing. I don't know. Like, I'd
what is it? Throw it
What's
away.
wrong with
tell
them
me about it first.
masturbating?
There's
To
not
me,
anything wrong with it. It's just
it would be the.
he found it. Like, where was it
So
for him
for
to find?
me, oh, sorry. For me, it would be the circumstances. Like, for instance, right? Like, because people have like these stereotypes about like how after you have childbirth, like it's never going to be the same, blah blah, whatever. So, like for instance, say a woman just gave birth to her child, and then she finds a pee pocket. Now, like that to me is like fight worthy. Like I'm gonna fight you over that because how dare you? That's insulting, and that's just pure ego response. Like the mature thing to do would be to have a conversation, but my feelings would be hurt if I just had a child and then I found a pee pocket. Now, me
Personally, I would
today,
just go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, today, like if I found a pee pocket and I was with a dude, like I'd just be like, this is interesting, and we'd have a whole conversation about it because I find it interesting when people have toys. Like I want to know the backstory. But
What's the next dusty question?
Personally, I just would think that I just happen to not be around when he uses it. Like I wouldn't even assume really much of anything other than maybe I was at work.
yeah,
What's the last dusty question?
Um,
you would have to have a complex about having a loose female situation.
But you can
Like
fix that. You can do Kegels. Come
no, I'm
on.
not saying that it's actually loose. I'm saying you would have to have a complex where you think that you have a loose piece, so then now you're upset because you found a pee pocket, and you're assuming that it's because it's tight. Same as like if a guy finds a big dildo, he's assuming that he's too small. Like it could not
Right.
even be that you're too small. It could be that she just likes things like. It sounds horrible because they
He
say
doesn't
strap.
want to just use his hand. He wants, he wants a full experience.
well, here's the thing, and then we can go on to the next question right after this, and that'll be the last one. It says he feels it's too big, which I said is an insecurity, in my opinion. But to be fair, just because somebody is insecure does not mean. I think someone in the comments said this is something you should have a conversation about, um, and that should be heard by his partner. And felt like even if it's an insecurity, I feel like if I talk to my partner, maybe they can be understanding. But also, that seemed like a therapy thing to me. No, y'all don't think so? You need to go and see
Nah.
what it
Well,
is
what
that
if
makes
your
you
partner said she was uncomfortable? What would you do then?
with my size being too small or
What is this a new question?
no. This is the same question. I'm asking somebody said, what if my partner feels uncomfortable?
Oh, I thought we're still
Uncomfortable.
on the deep pocket thing. And if you found it, like if you were in a relationship and she found your device and she's like, I'm kind of uncomfortable with this, would you be willing to throw it away?
Is it the device or is it the fact that he's masturbating? Because I have heard partners say they don't want their partner to masturbate at all. Is it specifically the sex toy?
Yeah.
Their uncomfortable conversation. Why are you uncomfortable with it? And apparently, this man feels like, or in the pea pocket case, it's too tight. I feel that I'm like, and then I feel like that's up to me to say, no, it's not anything that you're doing. It's just you're away sometimes, or it's blah, blah, blah. And then we have a conversation after that to see if, after addressing what I think her insecurity is, does this solve the issue, or do we still need to get rid of the toy? And if I'm not willing to get rid of it, maybe break up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. People can master without toys. Where? I've never heard of this. Witchcraft. The next question, last question. A woman agrees to forgive her cheating significant other under the condition that she gets a free pass to have sex with a person of her choosing. He is furious at the suggestion. Does he have a valid reason to be upset? Explain.
No.
No. Honestly, I wouldn't even want to. I would just leave. But like, you still don't have a valid reason to be upset because the only reason why you're in that position is because you cheated. Like, pick a struggle.
I am okay with him. I believe that people can have their emotions. I'm okay with him being mad about it. But does that mean that like I'm not gonna do it if that's what I decide I was gonna do? But like, side note, I don't believe in doing this. I feel like if you feel like you need to cheat to get back at somebody, just move on. Like, there's a bunch of people in the world. But yeah, like if that's just your prerogative and you want to go cheat, like why is he mad if he just did the same shit? But also like that would be my perspective as his woman. I'd be like, why are you mad? You did the same shit. But that's just being petty and immature. And then
yeah, I feel like that's just a petty question. I don't think she expected an answer.
Yeah. For him, he could be mad, but that don't change nothing. he didn't give her any consideration, so why would she?
The answer to this question is that he should stay mad.
The audacity. Babe, no, you don't get to. Wait, what? Excuse me? Didn't you just cheat on me first? He's furious. I like that everybody's answer here is, oh, your feelings are valid. You're allowed to be mad. Michael and I are still going out tonight at 8. Have a good night. Cool. Okay, short answer. Did anybody else have anything to add before I go ahead and close us out?
Thank you for having me. I had a really lit week, like crazy week. I don't know if y'all can tell, like, but now I'm just calming down, and this has been very good for me as far as like getting a little bit of therapy, and now I can throw the wine away. Maybe I'll go and actually watch Nope without drinking some wine because I had 2 cups when I'll go watch it again, and maybe I'll come back with a different review. I don't know. I still think the movie Nope was pretty good.
Don't throw the wine away. We don't waste liquor.
Oh, you know what? You're right, girl. Let me just keep it in the fridge.
This economy with this inflation.
Right. So, but nah, everything's calming down now. So I feel good. Thank y'all for having me.
Thanks for doing this, Petty. This was fun. I hope we find another movie or series or something. I know people were saying Lovecraft Country, which would be.
Okay. There were a lot of good suggestions. Erica kept recommending Twilight Zone over and over and over again in the I assume she really want us to watch that. What Lovecraft Country, I haven't watched that, but I've heard about it. I've heard good things about it. What I would recommend everybody watch is Love, Death, Robots. I feel like if y'all want to have a real discussion, like I just was not pleased with this movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm willing to do it. You want to do it next Sunday?
For Love, Death, Robots?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll set one.
Isn't it a series?
It's a series.
Or something?
So I don't know if I want to do it by season because the episodes are like 15 minutes long. So you can, but they're all different. And each episode I feel like is worthy of maybe an hour or two worth of discussion. We're on 3 hours right now on this movie. So I don't know if I want to do it by show. Take it to your house. Before we continue, Petty gonna be petty. Don't say I lie or I'm not a medical professional who can speak on certain topics. I did see your other comment as well, taking content creators with a grain of salt night. That really saddens me to hear because, again, I hope you don't feel that we were being hostile towards you, but I will not have data presented that way on my stream. Even if someone came up and said HIV is the gay disease or something like that, we have data regarding HIV and where it is most present. That's true. But I feel like this type of stigmatizing language that it was framed in was insulting to gay people. I'm not gay people, so I don't speak for gay people. But that is my thoughts on that. Hopefully you still feel welcome. I what I'm hoping is that you did not frame what you were saying correctly, and not that it was actually I really don't think it was an attack on gay people or anything crazy like that. But I mean, hopefully you still feel welcome here and come back next time. But no, I would not allow language like that up here.
Can I make a quick comment?
Hmm?
I'm gonna stop saying can I make a quick comment? Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
So like I just want to be clear. I mean, like, the woman who made the comment, she made a couple comments while up here that I was like side-eyeing, but my main issue was like I can't sit by while something like that's being pushed around, because it like I've seen the damage that it does personally in my personal life. Like, I've known people who passed away from HIV when I was a kid, and it was a completely different situation how they dealt with the complications, and the medicine wasn't as good. And seeing how like people die alone because they're stigmatized and stuff, how people don't tell people because they're too ashamed or whatever, and they're fearful. And I just don't really appreciate that, the way that that was displayed. And for me, I don't care about results. I care about intent. Like, of course, well, okay, not to me. Intent is secondary to the results of your actions. So be responsible for the results of your action, and the result of saying something like that is very damaging. And for me, like, um you could feel whatever you feel, you could think whatever you think, but to put that on a public platform, and to potentially, for people who haven't made a opinion about this new pandemic so far, for people to be seeing that, some people will look at it and be like, oh wow, it's this, and now we're more people are spreading the message, oh, this is a gay thing. It's not a gay thing, it's just a thing. And per usual, it's going to get stigmatized with gays and Black people and minority people before anybody else, and it's not going to become like a real thing until it's hitting majority white people. um but like, I don't have a personal issue with that woman, I have an issue with what she said. And I do want to apologize to Petty for being petty on his platform.
Oh, y'all are fine. Again,
And
take it to your house. You have my info. If you want to reach out to me and we can talk about this, I don't have an issue with you. I have an issue with the way you presented this data. I have an issue with I looked up the data and did not find it where you said I would find it. So I have concerns that it may be false, which we all did. And even if it is not false, like someone said earlier, HIV is highly present in Black women. It's not a Black woman's disease. Even if you have data, the framing of that data, I feel, can be dangerous towards these communities we're talking about. So if you want to talk about that, you can message me, but you can continue, LB.
And then, like, another thing, it wasn't just harmful to the homosexual community or to the queer community. It was also harmful to straight people, because for the longest time, people were doing what they do without any regard, and HIV was spreading amongst everyone. Meanwhile, the straight people are like, oh no, that's a gay thing. And when, like, to the point where straight people were getting it and then accusing their partner of cheating on them with a same-sex person. Like, it can get really ridiculous really quick, and it leads everyone to putting their guard down a little bit if they buy into that type of rhetoric. And with that said, I do want to say to, I don't remember who it was. I think it was like Vitamin Q and someone else, but two of the women on here, you guys kind of stepped up. And when I was like offended and slightly heated and just like kind of going in, you guys like put in effort to like kind of diffuse it without like straying from the fact that it's wrong. So I do want to say that I recognize that, I appreciate it, and I hope to be like you when I grow up. But like, some things just kind of like pissed me off, and it wasn't her, it was a statement.
No, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not only that, dangerous for any community. If there's some type of pandemic that's spreading, everybody needs to be responsible. And I think we saw just the way that this last C-19 spread and people not taking it serious. And we need to be aware an infectious disease is that infectious. And everybody needs to be mindful. It doesn't matter what your sexuality is.
Yeah, and that was my main thing. Um, I've seen it. I've seen things like that affects a lot of people. Um, like yeah, just a lot of people.
It's dangerous.
And at a young
It's
age,
dangerous.
I saw it. So it's something that like that's a deep trigger for me.
I'm sorry that you were
And
triggered.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not the only person that has had to deal with that on a very personal level, and that's inappropriate. And if you are a medical person, then you should know of all people that false information, particularly with our community, is never appropriate because many times we are blamed for things. So we should be hypersensitive to anything like that.
I
But
work in
nevertheless, it was really good. I really enjoyed this. I'm kind of like Afri. The week was kind of stressful. I spent the week watching Black women get blamed for slavery and all kinds of stuff.
oh my god.
So I'm looking forward to Women's Centered Wednesday and spread
Hmm.
positive information and hopefully going there and doing that every week. So if there's a particular positive story that you would like to share, or good news or promotion, or if you need encouragement because you've got something big coming up, please let us know in the Discord so we can support you. And Petty, keep posting because I think you're doing something really special on the channel and it's super fun to be a part of you growing. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, everybody. With that being said, does anyone else have anything? Vitamin Land, y'all been a little quiet. Cantor.
I'm gonna say yes. Thank you so much for having us. I have to echo Tiff and Free's sentiments. It was a rough week for me in my regular life too, and it got my mind off a lot of stuff. And it was fun, and it was intelligent, and it was funny. So thank you so much for hosting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm echoing that same. I had fun up here on the panel, and it was fun to. Even though I didn't watch the movie, I still had fun, and this was a nice stress relief. And I did watch your Love, Death, and Robots analysis, and I loved it. And I
Hmm.
was like, I think you should do more of that. And if you do a Love, Death, and Robot review, I will be here. I will watch the entire. I watched the first season, didn't watch the second season yet, and I'll be back. But thank you for hosting this. I had fun, and I loved all you guys' perspective on everything.
Thank you. What time is it there?
Oh, it's 11 a.m. on Monday.
Mm. Mm-mm. Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Now that you tell me it's 11 in the morning over there. Cantor, you are the last speaker.
Um, I just want to say thank you for letting us on to discuss the movie. I know I didn't like it, but I do actually enjoy listening to why other people do or don't like something. So, and that goes for like books, movies, whatever. So I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay, with that being said, I'm going to play my outro and end the stream. I am going to keep the back open in case any of you wanted to discuss anything that happened on without being live. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more. Go watch Themis and Thoth if you haven't already. My name is Prince Petty. This has been the Nope Review.